The PlayStation Showcase 2023 has finally been announced. We have a date, we have a time, we have a whole host of hints and clues and people dropping things on Twitter, and I want to comb through all of it with you. This thing is shaping up to look absolutely massive, and I want to look at everything that's been said. I want to look at the length. I want to sort of compare this, but I also want to tell you right here at the beginning, the showcase will take place on Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific or 4 p.m. Eastern. Write that down. We will be co-streaming it and doing a live reaction, and it's going to clock in at over an hour. This stands to be one of the longest showcases they've done since the PlayStation 5 reveal. Speculation's running wild. There's hints being dropped on Twitter. There's even a clue inside the PlayStation blog that I'm going to outline for you based on some other things that we have covered recently. Now, I put all the good information right here at the beginning, so you don't have to go searching for it. It's sort of an opening show monologue, and then I discuss it live with the audience. So make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss out on all of my content and live discussions. So the PlayStation Showcase finally has a date, it has a time, and it has a length, with 2023 only featuring a PSVR 2 State of Play and then the one that was all about Final Fantasy 16. This stands to be one of the biggest events of the year for Sony, maybe for all gaming events entirely. Given how quiet Sony has been and that last year's showcase was basically shoved into this one as it didn't happen, it will likely be jam-packed. First, I want to look at the announcement. It didn't say much, but the length is telling, I think, comparatively to where the significant amount of things will land, and there was a word and a clue contained in the announcement that could be significant. Second, I want to look at possible appearances. There is a lot of things being practically confirmed on Twitter with tweets and hints being dropped, and some of these places are essentially saying, oh yeah, we're going to be there. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Third, I want to speculate about a few surprises, right? One of them, I believe, was hinted at in the blog, and the other concerns a recent earnings call from a very big publisher. Lastly, I want to make some quick honorable mentions given how much might be in the show and how much some of it might land outside the show since we're still in May. But up first, I want to look at the announcement from their official blog. Now, the announcement blog, it really didn't say much. It's not very substantive, but I think it does point to a handful of things. One is obviously the date and the time. The other is the length and what will be included. And lastly is the strange clue, which I'll get to later. I also think that the timing of this and their involvement with Summer Game Fest has to be considered, okay? First, the date and time, before we get to all of that. It is almost time to see what's next, they said. PlayStation Showcase broadcast live next Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. British time. Now, obviously, we're going to co-stream this. I'm going to live commentate. We've been waiting for this one for a while since it did get basically canceled last year and shoved in to this year. And we're likely going to have a lot to cover and discuss in the days after, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're checking out Reforge Gaming where I do my live streams. Now, the language also seems to line up with what Jeff Grubb described as Phase 2. They said it's almost time to see what's next, almost like the turning of a page. What's next for us? We've done everything we have up to this point. Now what is around the corner? So what about the length and what will be included? What can we make of this? Well, they did say that, quote, the show will run a bit over an hour, focusing on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development from top studios from around the world. Expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and indie creators. Now, first, I do think that the length is worthy of note. The last two PlayStation showcases have been around 40 minutes, 41 to 48 minutes, and the one that they did that was over an hour was the PS5 reveal. It showed 26 games, and only 4 minutes of that showcase was about the actual console itself. That was basically at the end. So the takeaway here is that this showcase will be as big as the PS5 reveal, and they showed off 26 games during that event. The other takeaway is that PC ports might not make an appearance. It doesn't really sound like that's going to be part of the showcase. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't make mention of it, especially if some of the bigger titles are finally having their sequels. It might be time to say, hey, you know, Ghost of Tsushima or something is landing on PC. I'll talk about that in the honorable mentions. At least I think it doesn't sound like PC ports will be a major part, but the last consideration, though, about that is their involvement with Summer Game Fest. I said previously in a show about this showcase that there was so much being worked on, there were so many potential studios that could show up, they might need to do 2 shows. And I speculated that they could do the showcase in May and then do a State of Play in June as part of the Summer Game Fest. Last year, they were part of Summer Game Fest, kind of. They did a State of Play on June 2nd, which was a Thursday, and this year that would land on June 1st. Another Thursday. This was my prediction for the showcase. I thought, listen, you're going to be involved in Summer Game Fest. Why not do the showcase on June 1st? Kick off the month with your showcase. They seemingly don't want to do that. So what that means is that this PlayStation showcase is standing all on its own. And then we'll get to June and there'll be something else. PlayStation will be a part of that event with Jeff Keighley. Last year, all they really did was put the Summer Game Fest logo on their State of Play announcements. So I could see a June 1st State of Play where anything that was left over that they didn't get to in this showcase, overflow essentially, would basically be put in that State of Play. It's also a great time to remind everybody about Final Fantasy 16, which that's what we should talk about next. Appearances. Who's going to be there? Well, obviously, the games to just sort of list very quickly that we know will be there would be Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16, and probably The Last of Us factions will be included. These games are already announced. We have a release date for Final Fantasy 16. We have a very obvious release window for Spider-Man, and The Last of Us factions is anticipated as sort of the next big game they're going to show us because they did already announce it. I honestly feel like that would be solid gameplay showcases, but not necessarily deep dives. Spider-Man 2 will likely get its own State of Play later this year, and Final Fantasy 16 already had their own State of Play. So you don't need to do deep dives into either of those titles. You could probably just show them very briefly new gameplay we haven't seen yet. It'll be extensive, but probably not a deep dive. Factions could see the same treatment, to be honest, since we already know it's coming, and it is highly anticipated, but you gotta leave room for a lot more. And that leaves us with all the speculation. I don't think we have to speculate about those 3 titles. I think they're givens, okay? Some of this we don't really have to speculate about because they're basically dropping huge hints. And first up is Bend Studio. They tweeted the following saying that, like, hey, it's been 30 years. Thank you for the support. And they ended the tweet by saying, we can't wait to show you what's next. Now, PlayStation, the official PlayStation Twitter account you can see up at the top, they retweeted this in the wake of their announcement about the showcase. So it's very likely that we will see Sony Bend or Bend Studio at this event. Now, that line, we can't wait to show you what's next, is essentially saying we can't wait to see you at the showcase, all right? Especially since the official PlayStation account retweeted it. Next up, Santa Monica. What's going on with Santa Monica? Well, you might not know who this is. Justin E. Bell is the audio director at Santa Monica, and tweets like this usually indicate some level of involvement. Now, it could just be anticipation, but I seriously doubt that. It could be what Barlog has been working on, or maybe many people have speculated there will be a side Atreus game similar to how they did Uncharted Lost Legacy. It won't be full price, something like a $40 offshoot game. They did a little too much work with Atreus and his movesets and everything to not do an offshoot game. And if you're familiar with the story, it kind of fits to not do any DLC for God of War Ragnarok, since they said that wasn't the plan, and do something offshoot for Atreus as a side story and a side game. Then we have Project Awakening. If you've forgotten about this game, I've never done this before. Let's see if this video thing I did works. It's going to work. There we go. If you forgot about this game, okay, it's really impressive, okay? Especially if what they show in the gameplay is actual gameplay. Listen, we're all familiar with fully rendered stuff that's just not what the game ends up looking like. But even recently, Digital Foundry praised PlayStation for being the more accurate company with respect to marketing. What they show you is what you get when the product shows up, unlike games like Redfall and some of the Nintendo things that they've shown off that have ended up performing pretty poorly once they launch. I'm always a little skeptical when something looks this good, but it looks like they will be making appearances at the showcase because they retweeted the announcement. This combat scene alone makes me think this game could be amazing. Obviously, everyone's going to claim it's another third-person perspective game, but people know what they like, and the audience that buys PlayStation likes these games, so give the people what they want. Now, the fifth image or scene I have to show you is Kojima, and everybody loves Kojima. If you don't love Kojima, there's probably something wrong with you. He was recently meeting with the marketing team from SIE, likely gearing up for the showcase, and this will probably be for Death Stranding 2, as Kojima and Elle Fanning have recently been doing interviews about it, so they're sort of ramping up. I don't see why you wouldn't have Death Stranding there, and when you bring Kojima along, everybody gets really excited. Then, the one that everybody's been looking for clues about. We talked about this. I put Snake on the thumbnail last time, and he's on the thumbnail this time because Metal Gear Solid is very likely to be there. Andy Robinson, owner and editor of VGC, tweeted 2 very solid clues, and he was a little cheeky about it. First, you can clearly see that he has capitalized the word geared. I hope PlayStation fans are geared up for this. And funny enough, he had to reply to this tweet to make sure everybody knew what he was talking about because people thought he meant maybe Gears of War. Come on, folks. What do you... Gears of War is not coming to PlayStation. Anyway, he replied and said, bolted like metal, because somebody says, as in very high, he says bolted like metal. So you got gear, you got metal, gear, solid. Come on, people. Gears of War is not what he was talking about. So if you have any doubts, he had a second tweet. He's talking about Metal Gear Solid. Now, Andy Robinson's sources on some leaks and some info ahead of time have actually been very solid in the past, so I would actually take this one to the bank. And the Metal Gear leaks and the rumors have already come from multiple sources as well. We recently covered that when we discussed the showcase previously. Now, the last thing I will say is that there are some shooting down any potential appearance of Wolverine. I still personally think, this is just gut instinct, I don't have insider information, but I think there will be an extended cinematic trailer to remind us about the game. It's a big one from Insomniac. When you own Marvel property, okay, you're going to want to put that out on Main Street. I think it will be an extended cinematic trailer that will largely be what we've already seen, but they're going to pan the camera up and they're going to let us see Logan's face. That's just a fun prediction that I've made. I don't have any information to base that off of. That's just my gut. Now it's time for the fun part. Okay, there's going to be some surprises at this showcase. I think that's undoubtable at this point, as long as they've waited, and with the number of hints that are being allowed to hit Twitter, there's going to be some big things happening. I think there's going to be some surprises, and this includes the clue that I saw in the Sony blog. You may have heard an interesting word when I read through their description of the event. It was only a couple of paragraphs, okay? Now, recently, we covered the Bloodborne rumors. I finally gave in and covered the Bloodborne rumors because Jaffe had a source, and his candor, it just seemed legitimate, okay? It seemed as if multiple sources, including Jaffe's reliable reporter, were hearing things about a Bloodborne remaster or a Bloodborne remake. Now, in that stream, I made mention of a 4chan leak that I dismissed. Generally, that's what we do with 4chan leaks. We dismiss them. A lot of the times, it's just somebody looking for attention. However, the 4chan leak claims that Miyazaki from Software is working on a game where you would use spells and weapons. Now, I only made mention of this because it seemed to line up with a separate Reddit thread about Miyazaki and what he would be working on after Armored Core 6. Apparently, Miyazaki's on record as saying he would like to work on games, quote, with a higher degree of abstract fantasy. And that sounded an awful lot like the game described in the 4chan leak. And this is when the word spellbinding from the PlayStation blog gets really interesting. So if you go read the blog, they say there's going to be spellbinding appearances. They use the word spellbinding, okay? The 4chan leak claimed that the Miyazaki game that he was working on is called Spellbound. That's really hard to ignore this coincidence, especially since spellbinding is such like a unique and odd word choice. It's very bizarre. As soon as I read it, it kind of stood out, and I thought, wait a minute. I was like, isn't that the name of the alleged game Miyazaki's working on? I believe we may be looking at one of the rare times that 4chan leaks something legitimate, and it will be at the showcase. I actually think this is a very high possibility. I don't think they chose that word by accident. Then the other surprise, I think, will be Bloodborne. The smoke around Bloodborne hit too close to this showcase to just be pure coincidence. I believe we will likely be getting a Bloodborne remake surprise appearance. Now, the Bloodborne rumors about a Bloodborne sequel or a Bloodborne 2, I feel they're less reliable at this point, but you never know. Last, and certainly not least, the big, giant Godzilla in the room, GTA 6. The recent Take-Two earnings call is heavily hinting that the release window for GTA 6 will land between April 24th and March of 2025. That's just around the corner in video game language. This summer would be the perfect time to finally drop an announcement trailer, and I honestly feel that PS5 timed exclusivity is a very high possibility. The rumors about Sony buying Take-Two could have been misfires about exclusivity talks. I don't think there's a chance of Sony buying Take-Two, but they could have been in talks about exclusivity, and that's where all that smoke came from. And honestly, given the projections of hardware right now and the weakness of the Xbox Series S, it wouldn't be a hard decision at all. Given what might happen with Call of Duty, I could see Sony making a very strong move to secure timed console exclusivity for GTA 6. At the very least, it could be a marketing contract, and that'd be very good for Sony to be the platform and the event that finally debuts GTA 6. Lastly, let's have some honorable mentions. Many feel that the blog doesn't leave a lot of room for PC ports, and while I agree, I still think they could shuffle some of the PC port announcements to June or the state of play that happens or whatever they do with Summer Game Fest. And I think these could be included. It would be weird, honestly, to have a PlayStation showcase about Phase 2 and to have literally nothing about PC ports, unless they view it as a sore subject because of The Last of Us Part 1 port being so bad, and maybe not the best marketing beat for the future of PlayStation as a platform. If they're wanting to talk about hardware, if they're wanting to talk about the future of PlayStation 5, PC could mix up that messaging, so maybe they'll kick it to a state of play. But I would love to see Ghost of Tsushima on PC announced. God of War Ragnarok on PC is one of my sort of Hail Mary predictions, and Horizon Forbidden West landing on PC as well. Now, obviously, my love for Ghost of Tsushima is strong, and seeing it come to PC would be great. I could also see them coinciding this with the Ghost of Tsushima 2 announcement. Ghost of Tsushima was trending on Twitter yesterday because everybody was saying what they wanted to see. That has to make Sucker Punch feel really good, and hopefully they're close to release. The first game came out in July of 2020, which would line up with the God of War Ragnarok sequel timing. 3 years to announce it, 4 years to release it. Similarly to how we got an upgrade, right? A free upgrade in God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Tsushima, we got a free upgrade in God of War 2018 that likely was led to some of the work for God of War Ragnarok. Ghost of Tsushima got the director's cut and a lot of nice upgrades for the PS5. I think also, in addition to Ghost of Tsushima, I think God of War Ragnarok is going to come to PC within the 13-month window. I think we could see it there this holiday. Herman Hulst did an interview where he said the earliest you could see a big first-party game coming to PC would be 12 months. Well, God of War 2018, I still think, is the best candidate for proving that God of War Ragnarok will come faster. There were dev comments about how when they brought God of War 2018 to PC, they learned a lot and they changed the pipeline of God of War Ragnarok. Translation, we can bring Ragnarok to PC faster. God of War 2018 was also a smash hit on PC, and they have no DLC plans for Ragnarok, so it could be one of the faster ports to bring to the PC landscape. I've been given pushback on that because people have said they don't want to do parallel development, and why would they be doing that if they're working on New Game Plus and the things that they just recently added to Ragnarok? I don't view those things as anything being a barrier to working on the port, because those are things that could be added later to the PC port itself. Then, addition, the Horizon Forbidden West PC port could be sooner than later, given the recent latest Horizon blog, where they walk through the history of the franchise. It really gave the impression that Burning Shores will be the last thing we really see for Forbidden West, and that means the port could be well underway. There's also the potential for hardware announcements. Just today, May 18th, when I was getting ready to go live, they announced their Access controller. It's impressive looking. It's their effort to give a controller for accessibility. This may have been done in an effort to thin out the hardware showcases so they can purely focus on games. Regardless of what is there and what is not there, the PlayStation Showcase 2023 has some high expectations to meet, and I actually think most of those expectations are fair. You've been quiet for long enough, Sony. It's time to take the stage and show us what the next phase of PlayStation will be and what we can look forward to. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions. It's really difficult to not get too excited and to not hype something up after this much waiting. But a lot of the signs, the hints, and the rumors are pointing to a PlayStation Showcase that is absolutely massive. Just the fact that something coming in June isn't their actual showcase. They're involved in Summer Game Fest. This is coming first. It means they are really confident that this showcase will stand apart. The length being the same as the PS5 reveal is another big indicator of just how good this showcase will likely be. Beyond that, it leaves good room for June and their involvement in Summer Game Fest to grab any overflow and use it as well. The second thing I want to say is the potential surprises and mic drop moments for this showcase is where many fans need to proceed with caution. There's only so much you can announce and reveal in an hour-long showcase. Just this morning, the PlayStation announcement about their Access controller to celebrate Global Accessibility Awareness Day, which is a very noble effort. I love seeing these companies increase accessibility for those who are either motor or vision impaired. Adding those features to games like God of War Ragnarok was a huge step, and now they have a controller. That could just be one piece of their marketing effort, though, to thin out hardware announcements so they got room for nothing but games. Conclusion: the time for silence has passed. Just this morning, we've got an extended gameplay look at the Lords of the Fallen and a crazy, absolutely crazy Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. It seems that everybody was waiting on Sony, and now the video game marketing floodgates are slowly starting to open. As we creep towards June, it's time to bring it. It is my belief that the PlayStation Showcase will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest single video game event of the year. As a single event showcase, it stands to have the most announcements, the most games, and the most surprises. So Sony, the stage is set. It's time to deliver the goods and show us what's next. And that's the show open. Woo! You guys are awesome. I absolutely can't wait for this showcase because we've been waiting for so dadgum long for them to say anything, to show anything, to announce anything. Just the rumors, just the hints are shaping up to be really, really, really good. I'm curious what you guys think about some of my speculation about some of the surprises. I want to make sure the music... Okay, I was like making sure that the music was on. Let's get the coffee in the frame. ReforgeRoast.com is up and running. Be sure to use it. Our new storefront is looking really pristine. You might even be able to order some of the featured products right here on the channel. When you see those, click those, buy those. It supports me. It supports the business. It supports my family. We've moved everything to funnel through Shopify, and the beauty is it still is shipped and handled by my wife and kiddos, so you'll still get those nice thank you notes. And we already had 15, sorry, this needs to be updated, 15 members this morning, and Thrifty is going to bump it to 16. Casual Grinder went crazy in the waiting room, and Thrifty wants to throw in on top. Uncle Brada, my man, gets a gifted member from a man Thrifty. Love to see it. This showcase, I'm telling you right now, listen to me. There are going to be some announcements at this showcase that I don't think we're ready for. I truly don't. I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm really not trying to hype it up. But I genuinely am curious what you guys think of some of my surprise things. For the thing I want to talk about right now, what do you think about that word, spellbinding? What do you think? Is that 4chan leak? Is it right? Is Miyazaki making a game called Spellbound? Is it going to be there? Who uses the word spellbinding? Twisted Sin coming in with 2 months, says ponies mount up. Yeah, guys, be sure to use the Sony pony emote, Lono pony, since they're going to call us that. Frick it. We might as well make it a part of the culture here. I don't really care. Hogwarts Legacy DLC. I don't know about that. You missed my dono. I mean, homie, I didn't miss your dono. I was doing a 20-minute show open. I am sorry. That's one of the worst times to do it. Ya boy, or I'm sorry, Nabui, thank you so much for a $5 super chat tip. Feel free to put in chat what you said. I'll read it again. If you do super chats during my opening monologue, homie, I am not going to see it. I'm going through a 20 to 30-page document giving you my opening statements. I don't think that they would want to take away from Armored Core 6. You know, that's not bad pushback, right? That really isn't bad pushback, to push back and say that. Oh, I thought we were just letting people know. I thought that was like a good storefront to use. Sorry. I didn't know that was like a secret. That's weird. Just a correction for you. The Access controller was announced in January. They just gave more details today. I've never seen it before. Did they show it before today, the Access controller? You think spellbinding could be Avium. That's not a bad theory, Barrier. That's not a bad theory. It's such a weird word, though. I don't know. It's so hard not to be like, spellbinding? The literal, like, leaked name for Miyazaki's game that he's apparently working on is Spellbound. What if it's not Hogwarts Legacy? Oh, you guys are coming up with really good theories because PlayStation handled the marketing for Hogwarts and they had the exclusivity stuff. These are not bad theories. See, this is why we do this. This is why we have these discussions. I immediately thought of that 4chan league. I was like, okay, here we go. Yo, 10 gifted members from Terminal Stupidity. We've already hit 26. Let's go for the next one. I now owe you 5 members. Let's go for the 50 milestone, and I'll owe you 10 gifted members. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Make sure you are pressing that like button. Get us to 300 likes. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. There's music on. Yeah, you should be able to hear the music. I have it set to the desktop. Let me open up OBS. Yeah, it's very, very faint. I could probably afford to turn it up. Mike on the mic with a $5 super chat tit says, good morning, y'all. Hopefully we'll see Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gameplay. Some good predictions from Mike on a mic. 10 gifted members from Detective Seeds. He says, I'll throw one on there. Let's have a big member day, guys. You need it. We're in the 3,300s. If you want this beard to come off, you're going to have to go crazy. You're going to have to get us to 4,000. Detective Seeds also hits a 1-year anniversary milestone, getting that gold badge. Welcome back, Detective Seeds. Brooklyn Breed says, good morning, everyone. I hope to hear about the KOTOR remake. I don't think KOTOR remake's there. Didn't that thing get bumped and restarted and handed to somebody else? I do not think that thing's on a good path from everything we have heard. C. Lou, thank you so much for a month of membership, C. Lou. And then Ruguru Boogaloo with 2 months of membership. Badge says 2 months, but I haven't stopped watching since 2016. Keep up the good work. Don't worry about the 2 months, Ruguru. You have a purple badge, so that your badge is correct. That number is sometimes wrong. Eric says, smash the like button for Lono. Thank you guys so much for smashing the like button for the strong turnout. Don't forget, May 24th is a Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll likely go live before that. We will be co-streaming this event. You're going to want to be here. You think some of those games will be hybrid, PS5, PSVR 2? I mean, dude, I honestly don't know. I think you're going to end up with better PSVR 2 games if that's all they are. Does that make sense? I think you end up with better games when, like, that's all they really focus on. I don't necessarily think that that's what you want to do, is have sort of like a split. That always kind of worries me if you do, like, split development. Does that make sense? Just make the PSVR 2 games and just make the PS5 games. Listen, right now is the time to focus on PS5 only games, as I'm wearing this shirt on purpose, okay? If you guys like this shirt, by the way, it comes from the Spider-Man collection over to 80s Tees. We are partnered with them. Always use code Lono over there. Listen, Spider-Man 2 is going to be like one of the first PS5 only titles. This is supposed to be like the turning point, right? Because we have Demon Souls, we have Returnal, we have Ratchet and Clank. This is basically the beginning of, it's time for PS5. So I think the last thing you would want to do is kind of like, oh yeah, we made a game for both. Yeah, Rhythm Planet looks really, really fun. I might play that on Friday night with Madam. Now, she can't do the PSVR stuff, but maybe I'll do that brand new PSVR 2 game, because I believe it launches tomorrow. If you're a member, Friday nights I stream with my wife, and it is hilarious. A $5 chip from John L. Brocky says, Sly Cooper surprise announcement. Did Yabui or whatever, how do you say his name? Did he say anything in chat? I missed his super chat. I said if he said something in chat, I would read it. Where did he go? Yabui, you might have gotten shoved out of chat by all of the pony spam and all of the gifted members. Try again. I did thank you for the $5, but I still haven't seen your message. I want to read that. I don't like missing stuff. Some people are not used to or accustomed to the fact that I do like a 20-minute show open. My guess is, any guesses on the One More Thing announcement? I think the One More Thing announcement will be Bloodborne. I think that's what they'll hold to the very end. They'll be like, oh yeah, and one more thing. And we'll finally get a Bloodborne remake, remaster announcement. I think that's a massive mic drop. That's huge. I don't think you'd want to save GTA 6 for that. I do think GTA 6 would be there. I do. I think it'll be there. 80JC with 20 months, and it's a VIP. Guys, we're at 275 VIPs, by the way. Almost 300. That's amazing. Richard Rodriguez with 4 months as a membership. New Ubisoft IP says, oh, by the way, welcome to the family, Ubisoft. Then 1.5 billion timed exclusive deal for GTA. Then XDev Deviation, Killzone reboot. Golly goodness, Richard Rodriguez has some big predictions. Chase Haddon with 7 months, and it's a member plus. Potential PS5 Pro combined with GTA 6 holiday 2024 release would be dope. Oh my gosh. Yeah. PS5 Pro holiday, combine that with GTA 6 timed exclusivity. Woo! That would be spicy. Oh my gosh. Listen, GTA 6, I'm telling you it's going to be there. That earnings call from Take-Two, I'm like, oh, here it comes. They're looking at a release window for GTA 6 of like April next year to March of the following year. That's literally right around the corner. In video game land, bro, that's right around the corner. Eugene says, open with Bloodborne, kick it off. Let people know what they're in for the rest of the show. No, you let GTA 6 open the show, baby. You let GTA 6 open the show. If GTA 6 is going to be there, you let them do. Smiley! Smiley coming in. Smiley comes in with 20 gifted members, blasting past the 50 goal. The next goal is 75. Smiley says, I want to see that beard come off. He says, come on, everybody, get involved. Get the member train going. You don't have to wait for the members to be gifted to you. You can become a member today. Just click the join button. It's $5. Use the upgrade command. You can become a VIP. At the end of every week, I do an unfiltered debrief with my producer just for VIP and above. You don't want to miss that. You can upgrade for $5. It's only $10 to do VIP. Let's get 25 more people to upgrade. Let's shoot for that 300 VIPs. That's crazy. Yeah, everybody say thank you to Smiley. So generous. That's amazing. Captain Toasty Bun says, let's keep that energy going. GTA 5 open the 2020 show. GTA 6 open the Santa Monica new IP closes. Yeah, I think if GTA 6 is there, I think it opens the show because people will be speechless. They're like, wait, are you freaking serious? GTA 6 is opening up the PlayStation Showcase. Are you getting out of it? Are you what's happening right now? Any rumors about a new Twisted Metal? I've not seen rumors. It doesn't mean that they're not out there. I did my absolute best to keep my finger on Twitter all yesterday, just looking, combing over everything I could. Uncharted. There could be an Uncharted game there. Santa Monica's going to be there for something. Poe Buddies Nerfict with 8 months, and it's a VIP. Good morning, Lono. Hope to see Ghost of Tsushima 2, but a PC port will be cool too. Another 10 gifted members from Smiley. Smiley says, bro, I'll do this all on my own. G-Mini Christmas. He's throwing the stream on his back. On his back. No chill. Thank you so much, Smiley. Yeah, apparently the floodgates are now open. I'm just seeing nothing but trailers in my Discord. Everybody was waiting for PlayStation to say something, and now they're like, all right, here's the Lords of the Fallen extended gameplay. Oh, wait, hang on. Here's the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. Did you see? Did you see that trailer? What the heck is going on? This is one of the most violent... I can't even show you the trailer. We'll get age restricted. It's one of the most violent trailers I've ever seen. Anybody who plays that game is going to get age restricted. Anybody. I couldn't believe it. Uncharted needs to rest in peace. New IP. It seems like they might be branching off with, what's her name? Is it Cassie? Cassie Drake? Is that her name? Lords of the Fallen looks sick. I'm hearing good things. I might react to it. Listen, Doc Dark, my man, is on notice. I'm just kidding. He put out a video talking about both showcases. It's been a while since I've reacted to one of his videos. And I think it's time. I think it's time, Doc. I'm going to have to get him. I don't know when that video is going to hit, but I watch it and I said, oh boy, I'm coming for you. Yo, Shadow Moss with a $5 super chat tip. They need to open the show with Redfall and say, do you want 30 frames broken garbage? Nah, there's no reason to do that. Why would you sully your content with that? Yo, let's start off our showcase dogging on another game. They're not going to do that. Thank you, Shadow Moss, for the $5 super chat tip. Sounds like a member-only trailer to show. Yeah, we'll take a look at a bunch of the trailers today. Again, I can't show that Mortal Kombat one. We'll get age-restricted. I don't want any age-restricted content on my channel. T-Lou gifts 5 members. I hope I'm saying that right. That C is kind of hard. We struggle with certain combinations here in the West. Taking us to 71 members on the day. It goes to King, Troopa, Mug, Ben Allen, Zach Smith, and Thanos. Thank you so much, C-Lou. Twisted Metal is a game of service in development at Fire Sprite Studios. Oh, have we heard things about that, Eric? I've not seen anything about that. Afternoon chat, what's good, Blakey? Persona 3 remake, not sure about that. What are we looking at here? There has to be rumors. Twisted Metal, they're making a show. GTA 6 Online, timed DLX exclusivity for PS5. Red Dead Redemption also got timed stuff for PlayStation 4. Bro, the execution at the end of the dragons and the skull is nuts. Absolutely nuts, bro. You did good. That's how you say it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, C-Lou. Yo, what's good, Brap? So, Final Fantasy 16, T-Lou Factions, Spider-Man 2, Ben Studio, Kojima, Project Awakening are confirmed games. Yes. Yes. Guys, Brap's in the house. Make sure you're subbed to Brap. Good guy, good show. Basement Radio, Arcade, Podcast. Mooch asked me to be on Crossfire Friday night. I had to turn him down. I've been doing too much. I've been having to scale back a little bit. A couple of those weeks I went too hard. I started feeling kind of ugh. If I don't get enough sleep, I start to not feel so hot. It's hard to do shows, and more shows, right? I didn't want to wear myself down. We got big things coming, man. End of May into June's going to be an absolute roller coaster. Thrifty with a $5 super chat tip. Doc Dark saying that Sony gameplay is mid and their first-party games was criminal. He had me wanting to respond with a book. Love Doc. Listen. Doc's in denial, okay? He said God of War Ragnarok was just more God of War 2018. We all saw the clip, Doc. We got the receipts of you playing as Atreus. You suspect out here claiming that it's just more God of War 2018. Okay, that's just a taste. That's just a taste. Another gifted member coming in, taking us to 72. Yeah, Death Stranding 2 will be there. Thank you, Axid, for gifting a membership to Brick Wall. Death Stranding 2 will be there. Kojima met with the SIE marketing team. I don't see why they wouldn't be there. Have you seen the exclusive Lost Soul Aside? I have. I've seen clips of that, yes. I think the Metal Gear Solid remake is a lock. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Andy Robinson from VGC, where did I put this in the lineup? Here at the end. Look at what he says. Look at this guy. Look at this man. I hope PlayStation fans are geared up for this. You know what was hilarious about his tweet? Everybody thought he was talking about Gears of War. I'm like, guys, come on. Can we not be dumb, you know? Don't forget, there's rumors of 2 Sony games that we don't know about releasing this year, says Eugene. Metal Gear, so hyped. Also, good morning, Lono. Good to see you, Lion. The Blue Badge Day, good to see you, Rad Remington. Counterfeit Killer says he's currently playing God of War. Oh, I know he is. And when he said that Ragnarok was just more of 2018, you know, I had to tilt my head sideways a little bit, you know? You know when a dog does that, they're like, huh? He said that, I was like, what? What'd you say? Anyway, I'm just having fun. Doc Dark is a friend of the show. He's been on a handful of times. I reacted to one of his videos way back when. It might be time for another one. It was a good video. I think it's perfect for reaction. Not too long, to the point. Very much motivated by being a fan, you know, a fan of one side. Yo, Lono, WTF. I popped out to watch that Mortal Kombat trailer you mentioned. Seriously, WTF. I told you. That's one of the craziest trailers that I've ever seen. I was like, I looked over my shoulder while I was watching the trailer. I was like, am I allowed to watch this? I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for watching this. This is too much. Let that man live. He's got an audience to pander to. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that kind of reaction content. Although, I saw Alex's video. Come on, man. You don't even engage with what I'm saying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're still friends, and we're still going to play Diablo together. Even if that's the second time he's reacted to my content and misunderstood me. Himbo is exactly right. Geek to Sneak with 10 months of membership. Welcome back in. And Aaron Claypool upgrades to VIP, getting us closer to 300 VIPs. We're sitting at 276. His brother is a clever one. Yeah, I like P-Rock. I do. Everybody calls him Porter Rock. I'm like, it's Puerto Rock. Why are you calling him Porter Rock? That's not his name. I was on a podcast. And was it you, Brap? Was it your podcast? Everybody kept calling him Porter Rock. I'm like, listen to me. People of the internet, that's not how you pronounce that word. It's Puerto. At least say Puerto, you know? Puerto Rico. Why are you saying Porter? Yeah, I went down there to Puerto Rico. What the frick is that? It drove me crazy. I kept saying, why are they saying this man's name wrong? You know? I couldn't believe it. And he didn't correct anybody. Mooch calls him that? Is that where it came from? It came from Mooch? P-Rock's like, oh, these white guys are never going to get it right anyway. I'll just let it slide. Jiminy Christmas. When I have him on my show, I'm going to put a little spice on it. I'm going to call him Puerto. You know, I'm going to say it right. We're getting Resident Evil 4 flashbacks. That's right. Yo hablas español un poquito. Like, come on. Anyway. That's how you pronounce it in New York. Oh, it drove me crazy. We're off subject. Feed. I see you in the chat. Good to see you, Feed. I love when P-Rock gets worked up and voices goes to dog whistle. That's right. It's slang. I've never heard that referred to as slang. Is that what we do now? When we mispronounce something? Oh, that's just slang. I can't believe he's saying his name wrong from the guy who's called me the wrong name for 6 years. Yes, but I'm not mispronouncing it. I'm not calling you Eugen. Eugen. I'm calling you Eugene. I'm at least pronouncing it correctly. I love that you are Eugene in this community. It's the best. All right, let's get back on topic. I want to know. Give me your craziest prediction. Because my 3 crazy predictions are they put Spellbinding in the blog because Miyazaki's leaked title Spellbound will be there. I've been told they won't want to overshadow Armored Core. I don't think an announcement trailer will overshadow Armored Core. I think that we will see GTA 6 there, right? We will see GTA 6 there. And I believe, what's my other one? Oh, Bloodborne remake. Those are my 3 big ones. Puerto Rock is usually pronounced Porter Rock. Really? Thank you for the $2, Lazaro. Wait, am I about to be educated? He's from New York? Is it a New York thing? Oh my gosh. I was just looking at his name thinking, my gosh, do these guys not know how to say his name? Do they not know how to say his name? I didn't know that. If that's how they say it in New York and that's where he's from, I listen, if there's one thing I've learned in all my life, do not attempt to correct New Yorkers on how to say stuff. You just don't bother. It's a quick way of getting slapped. The fact that Gears was made for the PlayStation for Epic to test the Unreal Engine. Oh, fun fact. Gears was made. I didn't know that. It was made to test the Unreal Engine on PlayStation. That's crazy. Can't wait to go to Puerto Rico. Anyway, my craziest prediction isn't a game, but a PS3 native backwards compatibility. $2 from Richard Rodriguez. Isn't Firewalk game 2024? It may be revealed. According to Eugene, there's 2 surprise PlayStation games that are actually releasing this year. I don't know what those games are. I don't. Ask him how to say Mario. Craziest prediction is PlayStation 3 native backwards compatibility. Do you guys think that that's coming? Do you think the PlayStation Showcase 2023, they're going to spend any time at all talking about native PS3 backwards compatibility? I'm going to be honest with you, my friend. That feels like a state of play. That feels like a bullet point on a state of play. I don't think you walk out main stage and say, hey, it's been a long time since we said anything, and we're going to eat up airtime talking about PS3 backwards compatibility. I don't think so, bro. I ain't trying to shoot you down, but I don't think they waste a single minute of time on that, bro. They're going to be dropping bombs. That's like a post-it note. That doesn't mean anything to anybody right now. Eugene says, no, that's a blog post. Listen, I don't even think PC ports are going to be there. If there aren't PC ports, I don't think they talk backwards compatibility. They're going to literally try and wail on your face with video games. It's just going to be haymaker after haymaker of game announcements. That's what I think it's going to be. 26 games were announced at the PS5 reveal, and it was over an hour long. This is the first over hour-long showcase they've done since that event. Andre Clay with a $5 super chat tip. Sony selling the PlayStation division to Microsoft is my craziest prediction. That's not a prediction. That's a dream. That's not even a pipe dream. That's a fever nightmare. Dean Salah with $2 tip through Super Chat. I predict a Jetto Moto reboot. I don't know about that. My man, what's good, Lido? PS backwards compatibility would be great for the legacy PS players like me. Check your 6 with a $2 Super Chat tip. Remake of Parappa the Rapper. There you go. What's that 24 thing, Barrier? Is that the 24 studios currently working on something? Or is that the 24 studios that people predict will be there? 24 active development projects? What is that? I don't want to click on it. The writing's too small. Phil Spencer comes to PlayStation Plus. You guys might think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you right now, Phil Spencer's going to end up working for a Japanese company in the future. I don't think he stays. I think he's getting ready to bounce. He's like, you ain't hanging this on my neck. I'm getting the frick out of here. I'm getting out of here. You want to blame me for all this nonsense? I'm out. Oh, Jet Moto. PS3 was the best gaming generation. Oh, those are current projects. Okay. Here's the thing you have to consider. All right. This showcase is not about looking backwards. It's about looking forwards. They're trying to sell PS5s, homie. They're trying to show you that this generation is not just theirs, but it's going to lead to the future being theirs. Like, this is going to send a message. You don't do that with, oh yeah, PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility. Nobody gives it, like, no disrespect. Nobody gives a frick about that right now. Okay? You might care about it, but you don't give a frick about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a hierarchy of care there. What do you care more about? Big PlayStation 5 games, big third-party announcements, big things dropping out of the sky, or do you care about PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility? Lorenzo Carson gets a gifted member from Catwalk. We're having a huge day. You guys going to push this to 100? Are you? You guys are in the 3300s. You know, you got to stay there if you want another Just Dance stream next month. I don't want to do another one, but if you hit 4,000, I got to shave the beard. I've not done that since before I was married. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's dominating headlines across the industry. Sony has to drop bombs to make a splash. I think you're overstating just how much Tears of the Kingdom's dominating. It is dominating, but Sony doesn't need to drop bombs to make a splash. They sent out a tweet yesterday. Did you see the numbers that it pulled? Did you see? They sent out a tweet saying, hey, we're going to do a showcase. Here's the date and time. Like, bomb went off. It was a tweet. Lono's right. All of our PlayStation Legacy title dreams are just pipe dreams. Rip SOCOM, rip Legend of Dragoon. Hey, listen to me. I actually think SOCOM could be one of the surprises. I do. Keep that tucked under their hat. That would be a big one. Here's the thing, though. I don't know when they want to pull SOCOM out. I have a hunch that SOCOM's coming, but I feel like you want to pull that out at an opportune time. You don't want to pull that out until you're really ready. Maybe even try and like time it better with, you know, if you're worried about the status of Call of Duty on the PlayStation ecosystem over the next 10 years, they're going to want to time something like that very well. You're not going to want to announce it too soon, but you're also not going to announce it too late. The tweet has 12 million views already. 50,000 likes in under 3 hours on the showcase announcement tweet. Yeah, PlayStation has pull. I genuinely don't think that some people realize the difference in how much Sony hits above their weight class comparatively. Yo, 5 gifted members from Nobody taking us to 78. 78. That means the next goal is 100. You guys are crushing it. Sony hits well above their weight class. If you look at how their YouTube videos, their YouTube channel, their tweets, their marketing pull is impressive in the gaming world. Comparatively, like, you would think Xbox, with all their money and all their spending, that they would go better pound for pound. I'm telling you, Sony hits above their weight class. And it's because of everything they've done with their games. It's what they've fostered. It's the audience size they have. So I don't think they need to drop bombs to make a splash against Zelda. I think Zelda's doing incredible. Zelda is blowing the doors off of the sales world. Like, I did not think Zelda was going to hit what it's already hit. I knew it was going to do well. I didn't know it was going to do that well. But what that doesn't mean, though, is that, because Zelda's doing so well, yeah, PlayStation's back on their heels. I don't think so at all. PlayStation's played from a position of power for a long time. You can't log into the coffee. That sucks. Check your email. You should have everything you need in your email. You might have to check a spam filter. You guys that order Reforge Roast should have the opportunity to authenticate your account. It would be terrible to even mention PS3 games. Zelda is this year's Elden Ring. Brap, I'm going to do you one better. Zelda is this year's Zelda. Elden Ring was that year's Zelda, okay? Let's put some respect on Zelda's name, all right? Elden Ring was last year's Zelda. This year is Zelda, all right? This is this year's Zelda. Give me a break. That game, that Zelda just walked in the room and said, everybody sit down and shut the frick up. Our game is going to look old. It's going to have 30 FPS, and you're going to love it. And everyone's like, yes, sir. We will do that. I was playing it the other night. I couldn't believe it. And I got to that Carrico Village or whatever, and the frames were dropping. And I was like, come on, man. Where's my Switch 2? This looks terrible. And you know what happened? I just kept playing. I just kept playing anyway. You're a hypocrite. You contradict yourself. You live terminally on Twitter. Shut up and go play some games and try to have some joy in your life. Jiminy Christmas. It's serious marketing malpractice not having a showcase for 2 years. If this is a disappointment like so many Sony shows have been, if this doesn't deliver, Sony will catch fan lightning bolts indeed. Well, you're saying like so many shows have been. Let's not mix ourselves up here. State of plays are inconsistent for a reason. They're not meant to be big showcases. So when they do a PSVR 2 showcase or a showcase with indie titles, and everyone's like, that was stupid. There was nothing significant. Okay, well, you can't do a showcase every 4 or 5 months that's at the level of like the PS5 reveal that was an hour long. I think sometimes people don't think beyond their nose. They're just like, that was dumb. There wasn't enough. Okay, they're going to do state of play sometimes that are, you know, here's a bunch of indies, or here's PSVR 2. PSVR 2 is only going to appeal to a subset of the market. Okay, but that's what state of plays are for. Okay? They've not done a showcase this long since the PS5 reveal, and the PS5 reveal was 26 game announcements. And both of the showcases in 2020 and 2021 were big. 41, 48 minutes. This is going to be longer than that. State of plays are sometimes around 30 minutes. This showcase is going to be roughly 30 minutes longer than the last 2 showcases. That's an entire state of play. Extra time. That's big. They've had plenty of state of plays. They were at Summer Game Fest last year. The only thing they haven't done is a showcase. That's what he's saying, Eugene. He's saying, oh, it's been that long since a showcase. They've done things in between that have been disappointing, is what he's saying. This is what I'm telling you. People get confused. There's the annual showcase, which is big, and then there's state of plays. State of plays are literally whatever they feel like updating us about. They're not meant to be these big bomb drops. Is anybody else doing big showcases every 3 to 4 months? No, why? It wouldn't work. There's only so many things you can announce. What do you expect them to do? Like every 3 to 4 months, have this huge docket of titles to show you? That doesn't work. Nobody does that. And that's because it would be unrealistic. You only have so many studios. There's only so many game companies in existence to work with. And I think that's one of the things that's been problematic. Every single time I've watched a state of play, do you want to know what I do? I go read the tweet and the blog post that sets my expectations. They'll say, yeah, we're going to sit down with some of our indie developers and some of our studios overseas, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's coming out. And then everybody gets all mad. They're like, where's Ragnarok? Why won't you tell us about Ragnarok? It's like, bro, chill out. What? They set the expectations before they went live. They could go live and literally say, we're going to sit down with an audio team from Ghost of Tsushima and figure out how they got such great sounds for their swords. And people would tune in and be like, I can't believe they didn't tell me about 18 AAA games coming in the next year. It's like, what the frick is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. The Claymores with 5 gifted members. Thank you so much, dude. 83. Oops, not 8.3. 83 members on the day. Massive day for the channel. Keep it going. You guys are the best. So if you don't see the difference between state of plays that focus on smaller announcements and smaller titles, and you think that's the same as a showcase, that's the problem. Also, I'm be honest with you. The people that terminally fight about this stuff on Twitter, I'm being dead serious. You've got to change your life. You have to change your life. What you're doing is unhealthy. It's bad for you. I sent out a tweet this morning, said, see you soon, and it was about the showcase. I'm not kidding you. The tweet had been up for 2 seconds, and someone hurled hate at me. Brother, live a better life than that. That is a terrible way to live. I'm not that important. I will never be that important. There's no reason to be that way. You got to change your life. Grab a hold of your life and change it. What you're doing is insane. Probably have their headsets on. Ugh, my gosh. What a sickness. Some of these people are messed up. And both sides do it. Both sides do it. Because when I tweeted about Final Fantasy 16 and I said, this looks incredible, but I don't think that the combat's going to be for me, I got immediate hate on that as well from the PlayStation side. So nobody is immune to considering how you're living your life. Like, chill the frick out, right? You don't even need to touch grass. Just go get some vitamin D. Seriously, just stand in your front yard for 10 minutes, soak in some vitamin D. Take a deep breath of the free air. Good golly. It's crazy how personal people get. I'm like, what is happening? These are video games. Of all the things to be at each other's throats about. Sony has hyped the showcase, and they typically temper expectations. Eugene, you need to outline that for me. What do you mean they've hyped this showcase comparatively to how they temper expectations? What do you see them hyping here? It's a pretty meager blog. You think we're going to get a short The Last of Us Factions 2 teaser trailer and a special state of play dedicated to a deep dive of TLU factions in early June? No, that doesn't line up for me, Vedger. Your first part is on point. Yeah, they're going to show us TLU factions at the showcase. Brother, a state of play in June as a part of Summer Game Fest being dedicated to one game doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make any logical sense. If they do a state of play in June as a part of Summer Game Fest, it's either going to be Overflow that didn't make it into the showcase. At the very least, they're going to want to touch Spidey and Final Fantasy 16 again, just to remind people about them. I could see that being when maybe they talk about hardware. Maybe they talk about, PS Plus and other announcements that just weren't big enough for, maybe PS3 backwards compatibility, things like that. Smaller, more low-level announcements. You're not going to be involved in Summer Game Fest and be like, yeah, we're here to talk about one game. That's not typically their MO. I could see them talking about TLU factions in its own state of play later, just like Spider-Man 2 is going to get its own state of play. I don't doubt that at all. Eugene says the primer tweets from the devs, the teaser last week of the Monster Showcase. Okay, no, I'll grant you that, Eugene. They do seem to be priming the pump. They do. Wow, there is a lot of people here. Listen, there's over 1,000 people here. If you like live interactive talk shows like this, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell button. And listen, you can tune in when I'm not talking about PlayStation or Xbox, all right? We're really trying not to lean too heavily into that. I know everybody thinks that's all this channel is. Just yesterday, we talked about New World and it potentially getting replaced by the Lord of the Rings MMO. We just covered that. That was a great showcase. We did an upload about Diablo. Everybody's really, really angry at PC Gamer because of that one. We did coverage of Zelda, gameplay of Zelda. We covered the Bloodborne leaks. We covered the Diablo 4 season stream. We've covered Starfield. We cover a whole bunch of stuff here, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it all, okay? If you only show up for the PlayStation stuff, you're not going to see my other coverage. You're not going to see my other uploads. And it's a safe for work broadcast. It's basically a video game radio show. It's a video game podcast. You can listen to it throughout the day. Every day, Monday through Friday, I put this show on in the morning. You can tune in. You don't got to worry about what I'm saying. And members are going crazy. It's a great place to become a member. It's a great... Yo, Rogue Gaming jumps in as a VIP. That takes VIPs to 277. 277. I think we can hit 300 VIPs today. I think we can do it. I guarantee you we can get 23 people to upgrade. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not be on Game Pass, says Omar. So making GTA 6 exclusive to PlayStation won't hurt GTA 6 sales. No one's buying or wants XFlop. that seems like you wrote that and you're probably copying and pasting that everywhere. You can tone it down a teeny bit, right? There's over 1,000 people here as well. Make sure and smash that like button. That thumbs up button helps this video. That helps this video reach more people. Locked in for life. Love the vids and respect you so much for taking time for your family. Respect. I appreciate that, Rogue Gaming. Yeah, I defended myself a little bit. Was it yesterday? I don't know what day it was. When everybody gave me heat about not immediately jumping on the EU approving. And it was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I have a family. I had my son's baseball game to go to. Like, I live my life as if this is a job, right? I got a schedule, and then I go hang out with my fam. Monday through Friday, that's what I do. I don't do this slap-together show nonsense. Trill Troll with 11 months, and it's a VIP. Don't let Lono distract you from the unrefutable fact that video games are a commodity, ladies and gentlemen. I still can't believe we had that debate yesterday. I thought that's one of those things where, like, after it happens, you're like, did that really happen? Did we really debate about video games being a luxury item? Really? You think it's a commodity? You think it's like coal? Okay, like, Jiminy Christmas. Chronic Spin Dash with a gifted membership taking us to 84 members on the day. Welcome back. And it goes to Charles Tararoka. Yeah, and the coffee site is back up and running, reforgeroast.com. I'm not shouting out orders. We haven't set that up, but I can go check right now and thank anybody that's done it, you know. I can. These people want everything for free. Which do you think is the most likely to be there? The most likely bomb drop. There's not a delay on mic. Refresh. Homie, there's over 1,000 people here. You think you're going to, like, bait me with that and make me freak out and think I have to change settings? This is not my first rodeo, okay? The mic's fine. Maybe refresh. I'm curious of the two big bomb drops that you think are going to be there, right? GTA 6 or Bloodborne. Like, which do you think is the most likely to be there? I got 2 tickets to paradise. No, just kidding. I've got 2 coffee orders that came in around 40 minutes ago. How do I see usernames? I can't see usernames. Oh, Zyber. I see Zyber because I see your email address. Zyber and somebody whose name starts with the letter B. Thank you so much, Zyber. And I'm going to call you Mr. B. Okay, let's see what you guys are guessing here. Metal Gear. Yeah, mic muted. Yeah, your mic's muted, bud. I just don't understand why people... There's something with my mic. I'm kidding. It's totally fine. That was me. Bloodborne. Bloodborne. Okay, everybody's saying Bloodborne. Do you guys think Bloodborne has a higher probability of being there as opposed to GTA 6? You think we're getting both? Wolverine will be there. I saw a lot of people saying that they didn't think Wolverine was going to be there. I still stand by my gut. I think there's a Wolverine cinematic trailer and they pan the camera up so we can see his face. That's what I think's happening. New Mortal Kombat trailer just dropped. Homie, that dropped a couple hours ago. It's crazy, though, isn't it? It was wild. You got me with the mic joke. I've never tried to do that before. I was like, I wonder if I could fake people out and make it sound like my mic's cutting out. Blue Point Bloodborne 100%. Okay, he did it again. I told you that was a copy pasta. I knew it was. I freaking knew that was copy pasta. Dude, get a life. That was awesome. Like the guy from Police Academy. Maybe a trailer. We could also see an Atreus spinoff. Yeah, I included that in my show open as one of my sort of like offshoot predictions. Santa Monica will be there. I could see an Atreus spinoff game, you know, $40 game like they did with Uncharted Lost Legacy, you know. Rise of Ronin. Wheezy says GTA 6 will not be there, but Bloodborne's very likely. You do not have GTA at a showcase. Really? You may want to check history there, Wheeze. A lot of people were claiming that GTA kicked off showcases in the past. I don't know about that. Somebody said it. I haven't vetted this, but somebody said GTA 5 kicked off a showcase one year, And then there was another GTA thing that kicked off the showcase or was included in the showcase. I don't know about that. The earnings call from Take-Two just lines up. It just lines up. They're like, listen, our release window is, they're basically heavily hinting that the release window for GTA 6 is April of 2024. That's next year. And then March of 2025. Like, that's the release window. April of next year to the following year. GTA 5, an 8-year-old game. $2 from Typhus, surprise drop of a new handheld. I just don't know with that handheld, right? They could save that for Summer Game Fest, but again, that's a PlayStation 5 Phase 2 thing, right? Hardware's got to be a part of the showcase, I would think. They didn't really give a whole lot of indication that hardware is going to be a part of the showcase. They don't reveal new GTA games, so no, don't need to vet it. What do you mean they don't reveal new GTA games? What do you mean? If you're going to say GTA 5 was a 5-year-old game, so that doesn't set a standard, then the fact that they haven't revealed new GTA games up to now is not a standard either. What are you basing the pattern off of? How many GTA games have they revealed? They've done nothing for how many years? Kuroheim with a $10 super chat tip. It's crazy that people keep forgetting that a 2020 showcase, PlayStation started with GTA 5, and they would continue the partnership into the future. Why would GTA 6 not be there? Yeah, that was 3 years ago. GTA 5 was the first video shown at the PS5 event, so GTA 6 might be there. Yeah, like, listen to what everybody in chat's saying. Like, the fact... Now, obviously, Wheezy's going to push back and say, well, that wasn't new. Right, but it shows a relationship. They don't bring new GTA games to showcases. Here's my theory, Wheezy. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but this is my theory, and a theory is just that. I think all of the smoke around PlayStation buying Take-Two, I think they were in talks about an exclusivity deal and a marketing contract for GTA 6, and that's where that smoke came from. I don't think Sony's going to buy Take-Two. I don't think they can afford them. But they could have been in talks about GTA 6. They could have been in talks about GTA 6 marketing contract. That's where that smoke could have come from, which is why I'm like, I don't know, man. They just said this on this earnings call, and the same day that everybody's talking about the PlayStation Showcase, GTA 6 is just coincidentally in the headlines. I don't know. That seems to be lining up a little too good to be like, no, they won't be there. They're not going to be included. So track with the logic. There was a rumor about a buyout. I don't think there's a buyout. My theory is that was them discussing marketing or exclusivity. Then the day the showcase announces, they're talking in their earnings, and it hits the airwaves that they're looking at that fiscal year to be a big year for them, heavily hinting at that's GTA 6's release window. I don't know, man. Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't showcase. They revealed it through tweets on Twitter. Wheezy. You listen to what you're saying, though. The world has changed. It has changed. We're not back there anymore. Big showcases like this. This is likely going to be the biggest event of the year. I think this event's bigger than anything Keighley does. I do. I think it's gonna pull more viewership. It's gonna pull more viewership after the fact than anything Keighley does. I love Keighley, but I'm dead serious. Just from the tweet engagement alone, I think this is going to be the biggest event of the year. It's going to get the most engagement, most eyeballs, most people watching the VODs. And if you're going to announce your game, this is the showcase to be included in. GTA 6 won't be at the PlayStation event. All right. We'll know real soon. I'm not even a GTA guy. I just think it's a good theory. A 5 spot from SDO. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. New first-party IPs. Rise of Ronin. Spider-Man 2. Bloodborne 2. Half-Life on VR 2. Castlevania and Killzone new entry. Marketing contract with PS5 to push each other makes sense. It would be timed. It would be timed exclusivity if they do exclusivity. Over Game Awards? Maybe. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I feel like this is going to pull more viewership than the Game Awards. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Too soon for a recap. What's good, Zubair? Guys, it's time for a recap. We're an hour and 14 minutes into the show. Let me give you a recap. A great way to say thank you for the recap is to smash the like button. That's totally free. Hit subscribe. That's also totally free. Consider becoming a member. This talk show lives and breathes on memberships. You could even give some memberships. Also, all existing members, we have 277 VIPs. It's a great time to upgrade because tomorrow, every Friday we end the week, unfiltered VIP stream with my producer. We get into it. It's good. You get some of the drama, right? Anyway, here's your recap. So I walked through the announcement from PlayStation about the showcase. I walked through appearances because there's lots of hints being dropped on Twitter. And then I walked through the potential surprises. So the announcement is that May 24th, Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, the Sony PlayStation Showcase will go live for over an hour. Within that announcement, I made speculations about the fact that they have not done a showcase this long since the PS5 reveal. PS5 reveal was over an hour long. It was 26 game announcements, with only about 4 minutes allotted for the actual PlayStation 5 console. So the PS5 reveal was virtually all game announcements. So this will be essentially as big as that event. Then I talked about our previous coverage where I said there's just too much to talk about. They're going to need a second show. Given that they are doing this event so early comparatively to Summer Games Fest, May 24th is a couple of weeks before that. I think Sony PlayStation's involvement in Summer Game Fest will likely be another state of play like last year. This state of play could be used for overflow. It could be used for hardware. It could be used for things like somebody said something about PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility and things like that. I think those are better suited for a smaller showcase, maybe a little bit more housekeeping. And obviously, I think even the PlayStation State of Play in June would make mention of Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16, as those games are the closest to launch within the library of PlayStation. So Summer Games Fest involvement points to a second show on the way, not obviously quite as big as this. Then I looked at the appearances. There are lots and lots of hints about appearances. I'll quickly run through the images. Ben Studio tweeted this about celebrating 30 years and said, we can't wait to show you what's next. The official PlayStation account retweeted this in the wake of the showcase announcement. So Bend Studio will very much likely be there. This is Justin E. Bell, the audio director for Santa Monica Studios. He retweeted with some eyeballs. That typically indicates that they will be there as well. This could be whatever Barlog has been working on. This could also be an offshoot Atreus game. Many have speculated we're going to get a side Atreus game because there's no DLC planned for God of War Ragnarok, and at the end of the story, Atreus kind of leaves, and you could do like a $40 Uncharted Lost Legacy thing. So Santa Monica likely to be there. Project Awakening tweeted a similar thing, so let me show you some of their gameplay. This game looks absolutely bonkers, right? And I'm going to go ahead. Omar, you're just not allowed to be here. I don't appreciate that. It's one thing to be excited, but it's another thing to hijack chat with being like an uber PlayStation fanboy. This gameplay here is Project Awakening. Project Awakening did a very similar tweet where they retweeted the announcement and made it seem like, oh yeah, we're going to be there. We haven't heard or seen much from them. Their game seems almost beyond belief. One of those games that looks like a lot of fully rendered gameplay, but recently Digital Foundry really praised PlayStation for only showing how games look and how they run, unlike Nintendo and Xbox. Taking some pretty serious shots, I believe. Not Omar, different Omar. Taking some shots at, both Zelda and Redfall. This game looks bonkers, okay? And obviously right up the PlayStation alleyway. The dynamics of the dragon movement and the environments are what really got my attention, and just the insane movement as well. It looks like Dark Souls and Monster Hunter had a baby. So this game will apparently be there. Number 5, Kojima will be there. He just recently met with the marketing team. He made sure to tweet this yesterday. Really nice picture. This will likely be for Death Stranding 2. Kojima and Elle Fanning have both done interviews about Death Stranding 2 recently. So that game I just showed you was called Project Awakening. And so Kojima will likely be there to talk about Death Stranding 2. And then Andy Robinson, owner and editor of VGC News said, I hope PlayStation fans are geared up for this, hinting at the Metal Gear Solid rumors. And he made sure to double down by saying bolted like metal. Metal Gear Solid. So he wasn't talking about Gears of War, which some people speculated he was talking about because, I don't know, people are weird. What else do I have? Okay, that was from when I covered the CMA stuff. No more screenshots. So that's your recap on potential appearances that are essentially confirmed. Then there's also the obvious appearances from Final Fantasy XVI, Spider-Man 2, questions about whether or not we see Ghost of Tsushima 2. Ghost of Tsushima was trending on Twitter in the wake of this announcement. One of the things that everybody was sort of wishing to see. Everybody's kind of talking and saying, what do you want to see there? So I hope that's a big feather in Sucker Punch's cap, because that's everybody saying how much they want to see Ghost of Tsushima 2, and I am obviously one of those people, so hopefully they are there as well. Hang on, I have to move my microphone so I can see my dry erase board. The Last of Us factions will likely be there, along with Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16. Those are the likely ones there. PSVR 2 games will be there, but there's no way to really speculate about those because we don't know much else. I think there'll be an extended Wolverine cinematic where they finally let us see Logan's face, and then that is pretty much all of the things that we can make solid predictions or speculations about. Let me get to my surprises in just a moment. Zippy Narwhal with a $5 super chat tip. Sony has marketing rights. With the Xbox brand as weak as it is, exclusivity is pointless. The sales split will lean heavily PS regardless. Thank you, Zippy, for a $5 super chat tip. $5 super chat tip from No Face Lord. I can't hide it any longer. I'm going to announce at the PlayStation Showcase. You're going to be announced at the PlayStation Showcase? I'm not sure what you're saying. No Face Lord? You're going to be announced? Are you like goofing around, or are you actually working on a PlayStation game? Anyways, so as far as surprises go, whew, I'm almost out of breath. Contained within the PlayStation blog, they said something about spellbinding, right? They said the following. Let me read it to you. They said that expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and indie creators. Now, when we covered the Bloodborne rumors, I had dismissed a 4chan, oh, you're just goofing. Okay, you're like, everything's getting announced. Even I'm getting announced. Got it. I'm tracking with the joke now. Sorry. I actually knew about the controller announcement this morning before it happened. I've got some inside sources, nothing major, but enough to get hat tips about stuff like that before it happens. Okay, now spellbinding. When we covered the Bloodborne rumors, there was a 4chan leak that I just completely ignored because it's 4chan. Okay. But the 4chan leak claimed that Miyazaki, Hidetaka, I can never say his first name, Miyazaki from Software, is working on a game where you use spells as weapons. And the only reason I mentioned that 4chan rumor when I did my Bloodborne coverage is because there was a separate Reddit thread where they claimed that Miyazaki, after Armored Core, wanted to work on something that had more abstract fantasy. And I thought, well, that sounds an awfully lot like this game where you're using spells as weapons. And the name of that game, allegedly according to 4chan, is Spellbound. Their use of the word spellbinding just really caught my attention. Now, many people pushed back. They said that could be Immortals of Avium, right? You're doing spells with your hands. That could be, PlayStation has the marketing rights to Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe they're going to finally announce some stuff for Hogwarts Legacy, right? That they're casting spells, okay? Spellbinding is just a word, clearly Final Fantasy 16. Again, everybody knows about Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 already had a state of play. So there's not really a reason to drop a clue about Final Fantasy 16 in your blog. I don't think that stands to reason, Cliffo. I think better pushback is, well, it could be Hogwarts, it could be Immortals of Avium. Because they do say spellbinding games, plural, okay? So I just couldn't ignore the coincidence. I couldn't. I was like, okay. So that's one potential surprise that will be there. The other potential surprise is the Bloodborne remake by Bluepoint. Could potentially be there. There's been too much smoke there's been too much smoke around the idea of a Bloodborne remake and a remaster, too close to the showcase, right? Jaffe's got this reporter that told him this reporter's never wrong. Prior to Jaffe saying that, there were bunches of places on the internet where we were seeing this rumor crop up. And it always crops up, but the reason I've always said, I came to this conclusion the other day. The reason that I think the Bloodborne remake or remaster, the reason I think those rumors are always so convoluted, I believe they were working on a Bloodborne remaster, and they stopped. And they instead decided to do a Bloodborne remake because of what happened with Demon's Souls, the success, and just how good it looked. That's why I think there's been so many strange and different and even conflicting rumors about Bloodborne, because there are two legitimate rumors. There was a remaster, and there is a remake, and I think those two things get all crisscrossed through the telephone game of the internet. Now, Bloodborne 2, I don't have as much confidence in that being there, because those rumors didn't see as reliable. The rumors about Bloodborne remake or a Bloodborne remaster, they seem to be a lot more reliable. Okay? The third big surprise that we were just debating before I did this recap, which, by the way, this was a very lengthy recap, and we didn't get a single... Did we get any like rollovers? Let's roll over to 600 likes. If you're not going to give members for a super long recap, at the very least, give me some likes, okay? I'm doing some good work for you here, giving you the recap so you don't have to go back and rewatch the opening monologue, okay? Okay? All right. The last surprise that we've been debating and discussing is GTA 6. The earnings call from Take-Two leads to an immediate headline rush of GTA 6 release window being April of next year, between April of next year and March of 2025. That's just around the corner. This would be the year to start talking about it. Now, Wheezy's opinion is that they typically don't announce in showcases, they just do tweets. With all due respect, that'd be really stupid to do. A tweet versus a showcase. In this day and age, the times have changed. When they announced Red Dead Redemption 2, we lived in a different time. Twitter was a different animal back then. The YouTube pull, the live event pull is big. Case in point, E3's dead, long live Jeff Keighley, okay? The digital showcase meta is here. I do. I think it's here. I don't think the rules are the same as they've always been. So... You've been watching Alex lately, I see, with those thighs poking out? No, it's just warm and I'm wearing shorts, and I'll be honest with you. Up until, this is the first summer I've ever been multi-cam with shorts. We introduced the camera when it was colder climate. So I'm now multi-cam and I'm wearing shorts, right? It has nothing to do with Alex, as much as I like Alex. What about a new Uncharted game? Yeah, there's rumors about a spin-off Uncharted game with Cassie Drake, and, that could potentially be there. When was the Red Dead Redemption 2 announcement? 2016, 2017. That's 6 years ago. We're in a different meta now. Like, 2019 was the death of E3. I went and officially hosted with Twitch. I was main stage, and it was the last year of E3. So... be careful messing with me, all right? I killed an entire conference single-handedly. Anyways, I just feel like the rules have changed now. Sony broke out and said, we're not doing E3 anymore. And everybody else has followed suit. And so for Take-Two to be like, hey, 6 years ago when we announced Red Dead Redemption 2, we did it with a tweet. Let's do that again. Have you seen the viewership of live events? Have you seen the viewership for showcases like this? Have you seen the residual viewership for showcases like this? It's insane. It's insane. So, I think it stands to reason that being involved with the Sony showcase is a pretty big deal, the PlayStation showcase. Any news about what Housemarque's working on? I think it's been that 3 years since Returnal, so they have to be close to showing something. I really hope so. That'd be really exciting. You mean they followed Nintendo? Well, sure, they followed Nintendo, but Nintendo was... No, false. Nintendo was at E3. What are you talking about? I interviewed the guy from Nintendo Treehouse. Nintendo was at E3 2019. They didn't follow Nintendo. PlayStation was the first to exit. Historically speaking, Nintendo was not the first to leave. Nintendo was there in 2019. I interviewed the guy. I remember they had a Nintendo Treehouse studio set up. They were there. They were there and they did interviews. That was the year that Sony wasn't there. $5 tip from Jericho. For GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, they just did a trailer countdown on YouTube. I mean, obviously you can just do a trailer countdown on YouTube. I'm telling you, man, the digital live event is just different. Nintendo was the first to exit? No, they were literally there in 2019. I sat down main stage and interviewed a guy about a Nintendo game, bro. They were there doing interviews. They didn't skip out. They have a presence, but they did not hold their showcase there. Sony was literally not there at all in 2019. They didn't go. Big Juicer with 11 months. Think of how many views Sony would get on the showcase if Rockstar tweeted saying for everybody to tune in. Right? Nintendo's first direct was 2011. But they were always a part of E3, even with their direct. They not physically going and having your direct be a part of E3. That's not them pulling out of E3. Good golly. Sony was gone a long time ago. Sony was there in 2018, were they not? That was the last year they went. And then 2019, they weren't there. That's my memory of it, was that they were there in Sony was there in 2018. Sony was the first party to completely pull out of E3. What are we even arguing? You guys aren't even being pedantic. You're just wrong. Nintendo was involved with E3 all the way up to 2019. They didn't physically go, but they were involved. They had their Nintendo Direct as a part of the frickin' schedule. They had developers there doing interviews. Good night. Yeah, Nintendo Direct for E3 2019 is a video on YouTube right now. They were involved with E3. They literally have a video on their channel. Nintendo Direct for E3 2019. Nintendo still had a presence at 2019 E3. Do some research. Sony was not there at all. Thank you. I was literally a main stage host, and you're going to try to tell me who was there and who wasn't? Come on. The guy from the Nintendo Treehouse is still following me on Twitter. We had a great conversation afterwards. There was no PlayStation presence there at all. Good golly. They didn't go and set up a booth. They didn't have a physical presence. That is true. But Nintendo was involved. The point being, now that we're done correcting bad info, I was there. I literally talked to them. Source, effing me. I'm the source. Didn't they leave in like 2016? I thought PlayStation was there in 2018. Right? PlayStation E3 2018. Isn't that the year they did the weird thing? Yeah, everything Sony showed at E3 2018. They did the Last of Us thing, where the guy like played the guitar. They had everybody in that room with the lights above them, and somebody was playing a guitar on the stage, and then they shut down and they moved to another stadium. You weren't there. You pulled out in 2017. For half a second, I thought you were trolling. That was good. That was actually well done. Yeah, 2018, Sony was there. They did the Last of Us thing with the guitar and all that. Guys, I've been covering E3 since like 2016. Seriously. I've been covering E3 for a long time, for 7 years. All right? Anyways. Whew, that was a long distraction of bad info to say this. I think the digital showcase is the new meta. I don't think we're in the same era anymore. It's quite literally what killed E3. They didn't adapt to the landscape. So to look at Rockstar and to say, they're not going to be I did not thank somebody for gifting a membership. Hang on. Skatinator gifted 1 membership to Kaipachi, taking us to 85. That's a nice number. That's a real easy number to push to 100. Thank you so much for doing that. That's the point, is that the digital showcase has risen in prominence and power, right? Don't worry, Lono. They think Nintendo did everything first. According to the wiki, Nintendo was there in 2021 even. The same list shows 2018 at the last one for Sony. There was an E3 in 2021? What? Did they do? I know they canceled it in 2020. What did they do in 2021? I do not remember that. Oh yeah, it was from June 12th to the 15th. That's right, they canceled 2020. I, for some reason, thought that they canceled 2021 as well. We covered it. We covered it. I don't remember covering it. 2021 was a dark year. It was virtual. It was digital. I remember covering it vaguely. 2021 was a tough year. It was dark. Keeley 3 should be decent. Key 3. Key 3. Anyway, check Discord. Nintendo typically has a presence at the E3 show floor, and it often ran Treehouse broadcasts throughout and the eventual addition to the Direct. The company took part in the last proper edition of E3 in 2019, as well as the digital affair in 2021. Thank you. The point being, right? The point being, I actually think digital showcase is much bigger and has more pull than it used to. This is why I think GTA 6 will be involved. Just to be clear, says Filmmaker, I'm angry at Sony for getting drawn in so deeply into the APK deal at Quagmire. I love this show, but I'm angry at Sony. Keep being the best news commentator in gaming. Homie, listen, an acquisition of that size is tectonic. It's globally tectonic. You understand that, right? Global news outlets are talking about this. Regulators across the entire planet are weighing in on this. So you can't fault Sony for having to throw their hat in the ring and talk and argue and fight against it. Faulting them for that doesn't make any sense. Are you aware there's a GTA VR game in development? Meta announced it a few years back. Perhaps that'll be lumped into the PSVR 2 as well. I've been selected for, I'm going to get a Pico 4 and be able to show you guys that. We'll have to play a couple of games and do a couple of videos, per the contract. But I'm kind of excited about that. We're getting offers from companies now, and so we'll be able to do that soon. I don't have it yet, but I love my PSVR 2, so I'm anxious to try. I'm anxious to have a PC VR device, because there's a lot of great VR games out there that could be really fun to play with you guys, even on members-only content. CMA got it wrong. What part? The part that agreed with you or disagreed with you? You don't remember 2021 E3. It just shows how much it sucked. Yeah, the Pico 4. Yeah, Barrier. You must be mad at Google and Amazon. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Anyways, all right, let's keep it on track. If you guys are going to come in here and you're going to want to talk about all that ABK stuff, man, get the frick out, all right? Just get out of here. I don't want to talk about that right now, right? Oh, we got a PlayStation Showcase bingo card. Thank you so much. Somebody DM'd me that. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. The last showcase was September of 2021. They announced Wolverine in that show. Yeah, see, That right there, that timeline's important, G2, the universe. I think that's very, very important because that's how long it's been since we saw that Wolverine trailer. So the idea that they're not even going to like re-emphasize that Wolverine's in production, I don't think so. I think there's going to be a Wolverine cinematic trailer. I think it's going to be an extended version of what we've already seen, and they're going to pan up. They're going to let us see him. We might even hear him talk. You know, we'll get to hear him say bub or something like, all right, bub. And then that'll be the end of the trailer. Don't literally get out. Just stay on subject. Right. Yeah. Don't literally get out of here. Yeah, get out of here. I say that as an expression. Like, get out of here. Come on. That's a PC and a standalone headset. For the longest time, it was only available in the EU and Asia, only now coming to America. Yeah. And they chose me to be one of the people to showcase it. I'm pretty pumped. After the showcase, Xbox will be in 4th place with the upcoming Soulja Boy console. Come on. Listen. I'm going to tell you something right now. I didn't include this in my monologue because, good golly, I'm tired of the people coming after me and calling me names. It's exhausting. Have you ever spent time around a group of small children at like a birthday party or like a preschool? That's what it feels like sometimes. You know, when I venture onto Twitter or I talk about these subjects, it's just, oh, good night. Like headache inducing. I didn't include this in my show open. But the people who are already going to try to preemptively compare these showcases, just please stop. Stop it. Both of these systems can have a good showcase. Both of these systems and both of these ecosystems can set the stage for what is coming. I'm going to watch the Xbox showcase and I'm going to watch a Starfield Direct in their contexts. I don't expect the Xbox showcase to be as big as the PlayStation showcase. Why? It's not a fair comparison. Xbox did one 12 months ago. Sony did one 24 months ago. It's not a fair comparison. It's completely unfair to be like, because PlayStation sandbagged, okay? Let's call it what it is. They sandbagged. They're like, no, we're not going to talk in 2022. We'll see yous in 2023. Okay, that's sandbagging if I've ever seen it. And that's going to make their showcase bigger. By default, their showcase will be bigger. That doesn't mean it's going to be better. You have to look at things in context. I'm being fair to Xbox. I'm also being fair to Xbox and saying, listen, your showcase last year didn't pan out very well. Your whole next 12 months thing, it bit you on the rear end. 10 games didn't make it. That's not a great ratio, right? 25 games over the next 12 months, and almost half of them don't make it. 10 games don't make it, okay? But I can also say, let's not be unfair here. Like, Xbox spoke to us 12 months ago. Let's not forget the Xbox Developer Direct that kicked off this year was actually pretty good and really started the year strong for Microsoft. So you can't compare. Do you really want to compare the beginning of the year? PlayStation did a state of play about the PSVR 2, and Xbox walked out with like 4 big titles in a shadow drop. Come on. Now, at that time, when people were comparing those showcases, what did I say? I mean, that's not really a fair comparison. PlayStation's taking advantage of the slowest time in the year to market the most niche item that they have coming this year. It makes perfectly logical sense. And comparing that state of play to a developer direct from a company who had a really, really bad 2022, it's not really a fair comparison. And I'm saying the same thing now. To all you Sony ponies out there, gosh, I hate saying that. To all you Sony fans out there, I hate those terms. Sony pony, Xbot. I immediately, my voice sounds like a 13-year-old when I say it, right? I freaking hate it. To all you Sony fans out there that are going to track hash marks and be like, yeah, man, PlayStation 1. Shut up. Shut up. Just enjoy the showcase. Enjoy the showcase in the vacuum that it exists. It doesn't have anything to do with Xbox. It doesn't. And when you guys that love Xbox, when you're watching your Xbox showcase, don't sit there and try to convince yourself or other people that it's a stronger showcase than Sony. You don't stand a chance this year. Why bother trying to do that? It's not a fair comparison. That's the facts. You don't stand a chance this year. You don't. And it's not a fair comparison. PlayStation sandbagged. It isn't fair to hold the Microsoft showcase up against the Sony showcase. It isn't fair. You're going to get walloped if you try to do that. And then you're just going to look stupid trying to claim that the Xbox One's better. You're going to look dumb. Instead, praise them. Praise them for what they announce. Praise them for what they've come out with instead of trying to compare them to Sony. Comparison is the thief of joy. Like, stop doing it. You're robbing yourself of joy all the time. Even if you're the winner, comparison is the thief of joy. Do you want to know why? Because you're not taking joy in the item itself. You're taking joy in the chasm between this item and the item over there. That is a disconnected affinity. That's psychologically messed up. You're not actually taking joy in the PlayStation Showcase. You're taking joy in the difference between the PlayStation Showcase and the Xbox Showcase. Comparison is the thief of joy, even when you're the winner. But quit. Yo, Drexen coming back in with the VIP. Zubair going so meta. He said, meh. Other people say comparison is the thief of joy better than Lono does. Who is Joy and why are we robbing them? Eugene says, Xbox also likes to have a bunch of devs talking, bunch of exposition. It extends their shows. They also do live shows, which extends it. Right, there's a lot of handoffs. There's a lot of production. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance, right? And that's fine. Historically speaking, if you go back and watch all of my coverage of E3 from 2016 to now, I always have high praise for Xbox. I think they're the best in the business when it comes to live shows. I think they do the best. Their presentation is the best. Their hosts are the best, right? You got Sarah Bond, right? She's fantastic. She's charming. It helps that she's very beautiful. Phil Spencer, I think he's very good. Great presence. I also happen to think he's a good-looking dude. I think he's got great stage presence. They have another group in their pocket now that has good stage presence. Say what you want about Todd Howard. The man walks out and puts on a good show. I think Xbox has the best live presence of all the things I've ever covered. PlayStation in 2018 and in 2017, their showcases at E3 were so dumb. They were so irritating. All they cared about were the people in the seats. Everybody watching at home was like, what are y'all doing? They had an intermission during their showcase in 2018. Like, I literally made fun of them for that. Sony Pony! Like, made fun of them live. Like, you guys are dumb. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to run a live event. Sony live events always had terrible sound. It was like whoever ran the sound didn't know what they were doing. Why are we talking about the Xbox Showcase? Because I'm saying, in the vein of the PlayStation Showcase, there's already people drawing preemptive comparisons. And I'm saying, listen, there's no reason to do that. There's no reason to compare these showcases. It's not a fair comparison. Good morning, Dusty the Mad. If Sony doesn't show anything but Spider-Man, the streets are going to be done. I mean, they're not going to do that. I mean, you think it's going to be like an hour-long Spider-Man showcase? Let me see if there's been any more coffee orders. Okay, there hasn't been. That's fine. 2 for the day is a solid turnout. Sorry, I've got like... I had some eyelashes or something. I hate having long eyelashes. I saw how much I spent on coffee. Yeah, I don't know if those profiles are helpful or hurtful, Zubair, when you see how much you've spent. Yeah, it makes reordering really easy, but then you see how much you've spent. When's the last time Xbox had a chance at competing with Sony? Lono, it's not a fair comparison for many reasons. Yeah, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about a showcase comparison. It's 60 minutes of trailers and gameplay. Come on now. I expect Sony to show the software at the showcase and the hardware at the Summer Game Fest. It has an audience, in fact. I'm more confident Tlu shows up at Summer Game Fest than Sony because gameplay equals needed. I'm not understanding the split there because you're saying they're going to show the software at the showcase and the hardware at Summer Game Fest. So why would they slate Tlu factions to Summer Game Fest? That doesn't make any sense to me. But Twitter told me that Xbox Showcase will be better because it's longer. I gave that guy a chance to interact with me for the last time, and I just was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you want to have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. You want to take swipes at me? I'm not interested in that. The prudent man ignores the insult. You can't be a man of wisdom and engage in such foolish things. So it's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to interact with you anymore. Like, gave you a shot to have a conversation, and you decided to make it personal. So you're done. Like, you don't exist to me anymore. It's a waste of time. You're an NPC at that point. Anything Assassin's Creed related? I ran out of time yesterday because we were fixing some things with the coffee, and so my monologue didn't get written when it was supposed to get written. I even finished some of it this morning. And so I had an upload about Ubisoft's future. Their earnings call is pointing to some pretty promising things. I just don't know because Assassin's Creed Mirage has so many rumors swirling around it. I could see them Ubi just holding everything for Ubisoft Forward. Ubi Forward is happening after the day after the Microsoft Showcase. It's the 12th, June 12th. So I think Ubi's going to save everything for that. I don't think they're going to do anything with PlayStation. They're involved in Summer Game Fest because Ubi Forward is a part of the schedule. It's one of the last things happening. So, and we'll be covering that for sure because I'm reading promising things about Assassin's Creed. I'm also reading things that sounds like they're continuing to get ready for a buyout, it seems. They keep shrinking. They keep shrinking and they keep canceling stuff. Sounds like you're courting a buyer to me. You don't want too long of a showcase, retention goes down. Yeah, I think once you get beyond an hour, it's time to wrap up T-Spite. I did a show about this like a week ago, and I said, listen, you're going to have to break this into 2 shows. There's too much that you have to talk about. There's too much coming. You got hardware, you got PC ports, you got potential housekeeping with backwards compatibility and PS Plus. You've got third party, you've got first party, how many studios that you've got to talk. I mean, and then you got all the rumors, and you got all the surprises. There's too much to jam into one showcase. They've got to split it into 2, and I believe they essentially will do that. There'll be a state of play in June as a part of Summer Games Fest. When is the show? The PlayStation Showcase 2023 is next week, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We will be covering it. Jeff confirms Sony's kicking off Summer Game Fest. Whoa, wait. When? Is this them kicking it off? Or are they kicking things off in June, Eric? Did he tweet? What did he say? Because PlayStation's involved. Their PlayStation is involved. It'd be super weird to count this showcase as their involvement. That feels awfully strange. Amazing month ahead. He says amazing month ahead. He's talking about June, right? Mortal Kombat. Oh, no, he's saying that this kicks it off. Breaking news. PlayStation Showcase is coming next week to kick off Summer Game Fest season. I don't know. Tune in live Wednesday, May 24th. Oh, he updated the schedule? Because he's saying Summer Game Fest season. That's kind of a weird way to phrase it. It feels like he's just kind of like You know, is he kind of latching on? Let me go to the schedule. No, yeah. He's got it on the schedule. May 24th right here. Huh. I don't know, though. I still feel like they're going to do something in June. I do. It's just my gut. They did last year. They were involved, and they did a state of play on June the 2nd. I see them doing the same thing this time. Now, somebody might push back and say, why would they do a state of play so close to the showcase? They're just going to keep the hits coming, baby. You do this on the 24th, and then an entire week later, you get to walk back out. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks later. I don't know. I stand by my prediction that Sony's still doing something in June. They're still doing something in June. They could bookend it, Dave. That's not bad. Instead of landing on June 1st, they could land on June 13th or something. It could be how they handle it. It could be. Let me check the like count. We only need 15 more members for 100. We just crossed over 600 likes. You guys are the best. I think there'll be another summer show, but like late July, early August, says Eugene. Unless Summer Game Fest is more Sony focused, but I don't know about that. I don't think it'll be more Sony focused, but don't you think it's weird? Think about it like this. Can we look at that schedule again? Hang on. Let's look at that schedule again. Reopen close tab. All right. Just track with me here. Just track with me here. This right here is the Summer Game Fest kickoff, June 8th. And Sony's doing this on May 24th. That's a 3-week gap. That just feels weird to me. It doesn't sound like... This right here doesn't seem like official involvement at all. Even last year when they tweeted about their PlayStation State of Play, it was literally they put the Summer Game Fest logo on their tweet and that was it. I still feel like they would do something in proximity to the actual Summer Game Fest stuff. And do you want to know why? If not, you talk here and then 3 weeks later, everybody else starts talking and you're dead silence? You're just total dead silence. You talk on May 24th, and then 2 weeks later, everything starts, and then 3 weeks later, it's over, and you're just dead quiet. I don't know, man. That just seems... That's ballsy. If that's Sony's strategy, I'll give them that. That's freaking ballsy to talk, and then to go quiet for 3 weeks and let everybody else talk. I could see them bookending the event. Doing something I actually could see them doing something. What would that week be? Doing a state of play like June 14th or 15th, coming in on the tail end of all the Summer Game Fest stuff and being like, don't forget about Final Fantasy 16. Here's more Spider-Man. Oh, and here's some more announcements that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Hardware, things of that nature. It's only 2 weeks. Eugene, it's only 2 weeks until everybody starts talking. That's not what they did last year. Last year, they went on June the 2nd. 6 days later, everybody started talking. This is different. They're going to talk, and then 2 weeks later, Summer Game Fest starts. And then after Summer Game Fest is over, that's 3 weeks. It's like, so you're going to wait 2 weeks, not say anything. Then you're going to let everybody else talk for a week, and then it's been 3 weeks since you said anything. Sounds like a great time to capstone Summer Game Fest with a state of play. Last year, Sony did a state of play on the 2nd of June. 6 days later, Summer Game Fest started. They basically kicked off the month. I just feel like that's different. I feel like that's different. To kick off the month and to be a part of June, which is June in everybody's mind is E3. That's the month when all of the Christmas of video game announcements happens. A state of play after Summer Game Fest would be smart. Summer Game Fest usually is about a bunch of indie stuff from Steam. To be honest, nothing major happens there. What? Did you watch last year? What are you talking about? The Summer Game Fest kickoff with Jeff is typically pretty big announcements and big games, and then Xbox is going to be there with their big games and their big announcements. Then the Starfield Direct is there with their announcements, and then UB Forward is there. What are you talking about? There are smaller shows along the way. Future Game Show, and what's the other one? IGN will do something probably. And then Day of Devs, and then there was some other stuff I thought. In any case, the smaller indie shows certainly happen, but there's big stuff at the event. Homie, there's no E3. This is the only event happening for you to come and announce stuff at. If you're wanting to make a splash, this is when they do it. They'll want to communicate with fans longer than a trailer, explain expectations, the systems, the monetization, etc. Oh, you're saying bookend Factions the Summer Game Fest as they announced last year because it's Sony's first live service and it's a radical departure from the norm. I think they'll want to show the system, says Shelley. They go nuclear, announced GTA 6 as a PS5 exclusive, and they have Rockstar event opposite of the Microsoft event to steal their viewers. No, I don't think you'd want to do that. You don't want to go live at the same time as everybody else. I'm pretty sure Elden Ring was Summer Game Fest. Elden Ring was Game Awards, wasn't it? I know they let Keighley be a part of it, but I thought that was Game Awards. Was it Game Awards or Summer Game Fest? I can't remember now. They're not going to talk about that stuff with revealing the game. Yeah, I don't think you reveal Factions and you get down into the systems. You do that with a blog later. They'll do that with a blog later, I would imagine. They revealed the gameplay or the release date at Summer Game Fest. Really don't remember anything major from Summer Game Fest? Okay. Summer Game Fest 2022. Everything announced. Possible that maybe you're having that amnesia thing because you consume a lot of video game content. Last of Us Remake was announced, Layers of Fears, Street Fighter 6, and the Callisto Protocol. That was all part of the announcements. Those are pretty big. I mean, come on. Street Fighter 6 and The Last of Us? Street Fighter 6 was there, Callisto Protocol, Stormgate, Aliens Dark Descent, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had a big thing. Flashback 2, Fort Solace, Outriders did a DLC. Oh, Witchfire. I hope we see more from Witchfire this year. Routine. Fall Guys Season 1, that was a pretty big announcement. Fall Guys is a pretty popular game. American Arcadia, Goat Simulator 3, Marvel's Midnight Suns, that's a mainline title. Cuphead announced their DLC. Neon White, Midnight Express, Warframe did a big announcement. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was there. Obviously, that's not, huge. Humankind was there. One Piece Odyssey, that was huge. Capcom Arcade. Metal Hellsinger, minor title, but they were there. Nightingale, they just delayed their... Saints Row was there. Layers of Fears. Gotham Knights, as bad as it was, that's a mainline title. Warhammer Darktide was there. Last of Us Multiplayer was there. Last of Us HBO show was there. Last of Us Part 1 Remake was there. That was just Keighley's event, by the way. Everything I just read from last year, that was just the kickoff with Keighley. And then Microsoft had their event with all of their announcements. I don't know. I'm not saying that it was banger after banger, but, PlayStation's involved this year. So all of their announcements get included. And it's shaping up to be probably, I think it's going to be the biggest gaming event of the year. Maybe only outdone by the Game Awards. I think that the PlayStation Showcase will be bigger than any event this year. The only event this year that could rival it would be the Game Awards because so like that's such a diverse audience to tune in to the Game Awards, because there's trailers and obviously you're cheering for your games. The Mortal Kombat game looks more gory than the other ones. Oh yeah, it looks crazy. It looks absolutely crazy. Which game was worse between Gotham Knights and Callisto Protocol? That's tough. I would probably say Gotham Knights, because they squandered what could have been an amazing game. They really squandered what could have been an amazing game. They had all the pieces and parts to really evolve that franchise, and they took like 18 steps backwards. Callisto was pretty dadgum bad, though. It looked pretty, but that was it. Callisto was gorgeous. And then you played it, and it was like, oh my. It's absurd to completely count Microsoft's event out. I didn't do that. I went on a 10-minute rant earlier about how comparing them is silly, and that Microsoft will have some big announcements. And then the Starfield Direct. Don't discount that. But I think the PlayStation Showcase will be the biggest event of this year because they've waited too long to talk. Just look at the tweet engagement. They announced a showcase, and that's it. And look at the engagement that tweet got. Like, the world is watching. The world is watching. Viewership numbers between the Xbox show and the PlayStation show are close. I severely doubt that will be the case. No. PlayStation has much more pull. You're not considering how much more global viewership PlayStation pulls compared to Xbox. It's not comparable. Like I said, don't start comparing the showcases. You're setting yourself up. You don't do that. There are people already trying to compare the showcases. It's not a fair comparison. It isn't. PlayStation sandbagged last year's showcase. They've been quiet for a long time. They have far bigger global reach. No way. It's not even close. Don't do that to yourself. It's not even... Oh my goodness. I think that's one of the biggest problems. Is people are making comparisons. They set themselves up to look stupid, and then they get really angry and lash out at people. Women's event. Oh, that's in June. Oh gosh. That's a terribly timed thing. Layers of Fear coming to Mac products on June 15th. What? Why did I get that email? Check their last shows. Xbox outperformed the last PlayStation show. No. We're talking about showcases, Amos, not state of plays. PlayStation didn't do a show last year. They didn't. They didn't do one. You can't beat them when they're not there. Okay. Because the last state of play that PlayStation did was the Final Fantasy 16 one, right? And okay, 0.2. That's 11 months ago. Just as a comparison. The Xbox Bethesda Showcase last year got 4.2 million views. The PlayStation 5 reveal got 3 times the viewership. 15 million views. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's... I truly believe... That's not a fair comparison, but, like, I truly believe they're going to rival... Like, this is going to rival the PS5 numbers. This isn't going to be just a showcase. It's not. Yeah, just their state of play. On March. What state of play is that? That was that the PSVR 2 state of play? Is at 1.3 million views. State of Plays pull more than a showcase? No, they didn't. The showcase is sitting at 4.2 million, Eugene. But if we compare the actual showcases, PlayStation Showcase in 2021 pulled 4.1 million views. The Xbox Showcase last year is sitting at the same number, 4-point-something million views. Those are two showcases. If you start comparing State of Play to a showcase, that's not the same. Those don't have the same amount of reach. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, a State of Play just about Final Fantasy 16 isn't going to be able to compete with the showcase about a bunch of different games. Those aren't fair comparisons. I think this is going to be at the level of the PS5 reveal. The PS5 reveal showcase is sitting at 15 million views. That's 3 times what the normal PlayStation showcase gets. Compare those to the Xbox Direct. It was called the Xbox Developer Direct. Xbox Developer Direct is sitting at 2 million views. The State of Play from Sony about the PSVR 2 is at 1.3 million views. So a State of Play about the PSVR 2 is only 600,000 views behind a Developer Direct from Xbox and Bethesda. Do you understand what I just said? A State of Play about the PSVR 2, a niche product, is rivaling the Developer Direct. It's behind it by 600,000 views. That Developer Direct is from Bethesda. Minecraft was a part of that showcase. Forza Motorsport was a part of that showcase. And a State of Play about the PSVR 2 is behind it by 600,000 views. Come on. What are we saying here? Was there an Xbox Series X reveal showcase? Was there? Their world premiere trailer is not what I'm looking for. I want a showcase, because world premiere trailers are kind of crazy. The Xbox Series X world premiere trailer and the PS5 reveal trailer. It's just not. Come on, man. Listen to me. Listen. Hang on. I gotta. How do I turn off that bar? There we go. Look. Listen. This is why you don't want to do this. Here's the Xbox Series X world premiere trailer. It's 3 years old. It's an older trailer. It's sitting at 17 million views. The PS hardware reveal trailer, not as old. It's only 2 years old. 41 million views. More than double the views in less the time. Bro, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to do this. You don't want to draw these comparisons. I promise you don't want to do this. PlayStation has global pull. There are so many more regions of the world that pay attention to what PlayStation is doing. You're only counting the English-speaking videos? What are you talking about? No, I'm not. I'm just looking at 2 trailers. When you factor in Japanese-speaking videos too. Oh, I see what you're saying, Dave. When you factor in all the Japanese streams. Listen, that's why I'm telling you. You don't want to make these comparisons. I'm telling you right now. You need to watch Xbox for what Xbox is. The minute you start comparing it to PlayStation, homie, you are setting yourself up to just get walloped. You're going to get walloped. You're just going to get walloped. This showcase is going to rival. It's going to be at the level of the PlayStation 5 reveal showcase in length and in viewership. I'm telling you right now. I'm not being a Sony pony. I'm being realistic. You've got to consider regional reach, hardware saturation, market reach, consumer base size. All of those things are what I'm taking into account. if you want to accuse me of being a fanboy for saying this, like, that's not intellectually based. I'm making an intellectual argument. Based purely on market reach alone, Xbox doesn't stand a chance to rival the PlayStation Showcase this year, and that's okay. That's not an indictment. That's not what you measure a console by. That's not what you measure a platform by. Oh, yeah, viewership and trailers. Casual Grinder with $5. Got to give it to him. He's holding the line. GG's, my man. Thank you for the $5 super chat tip, Casual Grinder. You are a Sony pony? Listen, people that talk like that aren't worth my time. That's the last comment from you that I'll read. Internally, Sony says the showcase is to make a statement and bring noise. You think they'll announce something to compete with Starfield? I don't think PlayStation even considers that. That's not part of what they care about. They care about delivering really good games. Why wasn't that the case for 2021 PlayStation Showcase versus the 2022 Xbox Showcase? Amos, I'm not doing this with you, man. I went on a huge rant. Comparing these showcases is stupid. It's a fool's errand. PlayStation has an unfair advantage. They sandbagged last year's showcase. They've been quiet for a really long time. Did you see my milestone chat? I didn't. I am so sorry. SSJ Havoc with 8 months and it's a VIP. Xbox Showcase 2021, less than 2 million with 2 videos together. PlayStation 2021 on PlayStation channel alone, 4.1 million and IGN 1.3. It's not even close. That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing this with you, man. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. It isn't. And to argue about it is a waste of time. Just enjoy the Xbox Showcase and the Starfield Direct for what they bring. Comparing it to PlayStation doesn't have any bearing on how good it is or how much you're excited. Like, stop doing that. I'm saying the same thing to the PlayStation guys. Comparing the PlayStation Showcase to the Xbox Showcase, it's not a fair comparison. There's no point in doing it. Sony canceled a Santa Monica game. It was too similar to Starfield. 2018, Corey moved to another game. Could be the space game revived. I think the Barlog game could very much likely be the offshoot Atreus game. I do. I think that they put too much effort into Atreus for it not to be like a side offshoot game. Does that make sense? They just put too much work into him. He's too significant in the game. He has way too many moves. He's got a skill tree. That literally is like the foundational scaffolding to an Atreus game. I firmly believe that. There's too much there for that just to be a part of Ragnarok. I tell you what it is. The Atreus parts of God of War Ragnarok is the tutorial for an Atreus game. That's what it is. It's a tutorial. Here's the basics, here's what he has, and then they kind of leave it in that container. It's why I didn't enjoy playing as Atreus as time went on. It was just, it felt too one-dimensional. I didn't like it. It was my least favorite part of Ragnarok. It's one of my criticisms of Ragnarok. You spend too much time as Atreus. I just think you spend too much time as him. An Atreus VR? Yeah, I actually think that... you logged me out, and I'm having to log back in. Hang on a minute. I actually think that's a decent theory, because I just wonder if that's the limitations of, like, you know, it's another game with somebody with a bow, and if it would be better served as a PSVR 2 game. I actually like that theory. I do like that theory. Because I said, when I covered PSVR 2 a while ago, I said you need first-party blood in the water. You need good stuff in the water. Well, combat in VR is fun. It really is. It's one of my biggest criticisms of Call of the Mountain It's one of my biggest criticisms is it's too much climbing and not enough bow combat. The bow combat's so good in Call of the Mountain. Thank you for saying that. I was getting hate for saying the same thing to my buds about Atreus being a VR game. Wolverine VR? No, I don't think so. I think Atreus VR is a really, really good theory. It really is. Oh, were you getting hate for not enjoying the Atreus parts of God of War? I found them to be not that enjoyable. I just wanted to play as Kratos. Yeah, the Lono EXE crashed and needed a restart. That's right. Only reason I don't see the offshoot with Corey is because Corey said he wanted to move on. I don't think the offshoot game needs Corey for it. Okay, that's fair pushback. It could be two very different things. That's fair. I don't know about a God of War reboot and making Atreus the God of War. I don't know about that because that's not where that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit for Loki. I don't think that fits for Loki to be the God of War. He's the God of mischief. That's just back. I think that's backwards personally. Lono hates Atreus because Atreus knows how to read and Lono is envious. I forgot about this leak. I wonder if we'll see Project Ooze as one of the surprises. What's Project Ooze? Leaked alpha footage of a new PlayStation IP? I'm not going to pull it up. I don't like pulling stuff like that up. That's an easy way to get yourself bopped by the copyright holder. Sci-fi RPG based in Unreal Engine being developed through XDev in partnership with an external studio. The video has been archived and is not watchable at this time. Here's a screenshot. Oh, I remember seeing this game. Yeah. I'm not going to show it. Yeah. I remember seeing that game. Yeah, I remember that footage a while ago. It looked really, really bad at the time. Horizon Forbidden West MMO could be shown. Yeah. I think Guerrilla's ready to start moving on. That's why I think Horizon Forbidden West coming to PC could be announced soon. I think they're done. I think Burning Shores was the crown jewel. I think that was the way to end Forbidden West. You know, Forbidden West PC port could be announced at some point this year. Maybe even come out at some point this year. And the Horizon Forbidden West MMO could also be announced and shown. The Transformers game. Yeah, I forgot all about that. They went quiet. No, KOTOR 2, I don't think KOTOR 2 will be there. Last we heard, hey there, key offering campaign is expiring. Oh. Last we heard about KOTOR, it wasn't very promising. It was like they completely rebooted it, didn't they? It was having trouble, and they restarted. So I don't think you're going to get anything from KOTOR. Lono, what's up with the game Project Magnum, now called First Descendant? It's a live service. Yeah, that's actually old. The name change is old news. The concern about First Descendant would be Cook, Serve Forever, Ani, Road to the Mightiest, Ani, Decline. I'm stacked right now. Yeah, everybody wants a piece of me all of a sudden. Now all of a sudden you're offering me games. I tell you what, offer me a game before it comes out and I'll have a conversation with you. Like giving me keys the day the game comes out or the day after or a week after. Yeah, I'm good. My Redfall coverage probably got me trending, not trending, but like getting attention on Keymailer because they gave me a code for Redfall and all of my Redfall coverage did so well. They're just seeing the viewership. They're not seeing what I said. Freaking roasted that game up. Star Wars Eclipse is a possibility. That's another one I'm going to say no to. No. I think Eclipse is another one that's in trouble that we won't hear anything about. I think both Eclipse and KOTOR 2, no. There's too much trouble. Eyeballs is eyeballs? Yeah, but I'm a YouTuber. I need relevancy. Hey, our game came out last week. Thanks for telling me. Do you know how YouTube works? Here's a code. Yeah, our game came out 8 days ago. Have you ever used YouTube before? Have you ever talked to a YouTuber? Nobody cares now. It's gone. It's over. Not for you, for ad agencies. They don't care if it's brutal. Oh, I see what you're saying, Zubair. They don't care if it's brutal. They just care about eyeballs. Sure. Yo, what's good, Donnie? Zero Dawn had one DLC as well, so it's easy to say they're working on the third Horizon. Well, and they had that Horizon blog post. There was a PlayStation blog that essentially confirmed they're moving on. At least it sounded that way. I'm getting tired of the constant footballification of hardware. It started with the Commodore 64 versus the ZX Spectrum, Amiga versus Atari, SNES versus the Mega Drive. I just want a good game. Might want to get that game key to Lono before launch. Yeah, dude, I'll abide by... Listen, I'll abide by embargoes. Who's going to break an embargo? You know? Like, come on. I don't get it. I don't get it. When's that Gollum game come out? We have a perfect format. We have a perfect format for games. If I can record footage ahead of time, I'll play it for an hour or two, record a bunch of B-roll, I'll write a monologue, and there you go. You're good to go. And I'm one of the few people out here with a PS5. You know, PS5 saturation for YouTubers wasn't amazing early on. Give me a PS5 code. SpongeBob SquarePants special pack arrives in Power Wash Simulator on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Series X, PC, and PlayStation 4 and 5. Man, good for them. They're crushing it, man. Rumored Sony handheld announcement, says G2 The Universe. I actually think that the PlayStation Q Lite, the PlayStation handheld, I actually think it's real. I do. Because the rumors were it was going to be a 1080 LCD screen, and the manufacturer that makes LCDs, they made them for, the Switch? There was inside information that they're making an LCD screen for a new console. Well, Nintendo's not going back to LCD, and the LCD being 1080-60 and keeping the cost down of the alleged PlayStation Q Lite, that tracks. I think it's going to be a cloud remote play device, because I think cloud and remote play are primed and ready to go in the Asian market, especially Japan. I think they'll eat it up. You won't be able to get one. That sounds stupid. Yeah, try and order one. I don't think you'll be able to get one. I think it's real. Now, does it show up in the showcase? I don't know. I just don't know. It fits for a PlayStation showcase about what's next, what's the future. It does. They like to announce hardware during showcases, but I don't know. There's also the idea of, like, do you save things and do like a state of play in June with Summer Game Fest? In an interview with BuzzFeed, Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann confidently said the studio is moving on from the Uncharted series, saying, Uncharted was insanely successful. Uncharted 4 was one of our best-selling games, and we're able to put our final brushstroke on that story and say that we're done. Yeah. Do you notice how he phrases it, Christopher? He says, we're going to put our final brushstroke on that story. Sounds like somebody else is picking up Uncharted. Why would you phrase it that way? We're putting our final brushstroke on the story. They're not saying, oh yeah, no more Uncharted. They're saying, no, we got to put our final brushstroke on it. He's saying it's somebody else's turn now. Different studio is handing Uncharted with, I believe it's with Cassie Drake. The next Uncharted is being handled by somebody else. Bend? I think it is Bend, Donnie. Didn't they say that Bend was working on an existing piece of property, like an existing IP or something, that people were going to be really excited about or something? Bend Studio, existing property. I swear there was something that said that. Whatever it was going to implement the open world of Days Gone technology and feature multiplayer. And I feel like if you built Uncharted would work just fine in the open world of I can't remember where I read that. I thought they were working on like an existing IP and they were going to use the open world tech of Days Gone and add multiplayer. I feel like I remember reading that. I'm foggy on it. Ben Fitz, they made the Vita game too. Uncharted reboot from new developer reportedly in the works. Yeah, see, but that could still be Ben. That still fits, right? It's a new developer. It's not Naughty Dog. Like, new developer doesn't mean brand new dev, like they built a new studio. It could literally mean, like, no, it's a new dev. Tony Esquire with a $10 super chat tip. Home resting from rotator cuff surgery, and this channel popped up as a suggestion. I'm immediately subbed. Excellent content. As a gaming fan, should I be worried about Microsoft's recent W? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat tip. Hope your surgery, recovery goes well, and thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I don't want to sidetrack this today's stream with the EU stuff. I did a whole stream about it. I'll give you a brief answer. I don't think the EU's approval weighs heavily in the grand scheme of things. FTC, CMA, and China are bigger factors, and 2 of those 3 have already said we're blocking this. So I don't know. I don't think EU has a larger population and a larger GDP than the UK, but the EU is a drop in the bucket of Microsoft's annual revenue. So when what's-his-face said in the interview, like, we'll see how this plays out, like, but, when the guy asked him, could you see a future where you, like, pull out of the UK? Good luck with that. Oh, Eugene's saying it's not Bend. There were job postings and they're not Bend. Okay. By the way, we're going to be going to a members-only debrief. I don't have an upload or a premiere for you today. I was going to do one about Ubisoft, and I ran out of time last night because we were fixing some stuff with the coffee. So make sure you're checking out the brand new Reforge Roast website. In fact, let me show it to you very briefly. And if you want to become a member, or if you guys want to gift the remaining 15 members to push us all the way to 100, that would be amazing. And then I would owe you all those members right at the buzzer. I give you right until the end of the stream to hit that milestone. And then I would owe you a 20 bomb of members. So we could take 15 and my 20. We could take 35 more people with us to the members-only debrief. We're going to debrief on today's topic and talk about it. But here's the newly launched Reforge Roast website. We got merch, we got mugs, we got coffee. So check out reforgeroast.com. The flavor profiles are there. The light roast and the Frickmas roast have been significantly discounted. So if you head over to the shop, you can see the Frickmas has been marked down by 42%. It's only $10.95. The light roast has been marked down by 24%, moving through the old bags. The dark roast is in its new bags, the one you always see sitting next to me. So get those orders in. Check out the new website, reforgeroast.com. It should be fully embedded into the YouTube channel very, very soon. A $2 tip from G to the Universe. A Wolverine VR could help Sony move VR units. I don't think they're going to do a Wolverine VR game. I mean, they might, but it's not going to be the Wolverine Insomniac game that was announced. Currently, as far as the channel goes, there's still only 3 items that have been approved. Frickmas, a Team Frick mug, and a Team Dark mug. We can't promote any more items here on the website, on the YouTube channel, but you should be able to do to order those right through the YouTube channel. What? Stop it, Mama. Can you leave the door open? It's getting warm in here. Is that it? Oh, stop it. Half-Life is the big VR2 announcement. Oh, what? Christos, if you guys don't follow her, by the way, she does a lot of VR content. So if you like VR2, PSVR2 content especially, Christos, she does a lot of that. So check her out on Twitter and on YouTube. She's been having a bit of a rise on Twitter, at least, and I don't do a lot of the PSVR2 stuff. I'm not really big on gameplay, so I predict that Bend is working on an open world Ghost Rider game, applying the motorcycle mechanics from Days Gone. Oh, that would be Yeah, but they said it's going to be multiplayer. It says it's going to be multiplayer, so I don't know about all that. Morning, Lono in chat. Zelda has consumed me. Excited for the showcase. Thank you so much. Just unsubscribe? To what? To Game Pass? Good morning. Oh, I already read that. Sorry, it's starting to look clean. Here, let me get the debrief scheduled. We're clearly in the wind down pattern. We're past the 2.5 hour mark. Streams typically don't go much longer than this. So let me schedule the members only debrief. What do you think of the Cory Barlog project? I have absolutely no clue what it's going to be. I have no idea. Let's see. PS Showcase 2023 debrief. Yay. Put us in Spider-Man 2. And then we made the thumbnail yesterday for this already. Oh, they canceled it, huh? That's a nice thumb. I still think it's funny that people thought they were going to freaking cancel it. I think that's hilarious. They're going to cancel the showcase. You sound scared, Rust. You sound scared. Wolverine third person. I think Wolverine is very much going to be inspired by how they do God of War movement and camera angle. So y'all taking shots, but Xbox is a different caliber. Yeah, lower caliber. That was too easy. I'm sorry. I love GT7 on VR2. Tony Esquire, the $5 super chat tip. I actually agree with you. I really liked it myself. Over the shoulder for Wolverine, just like Spider-Man. Yeah, but I think it'll be a little bit more zoomed in. It's going to be a little bit more visceral. You know, like, again, how God of War Ragnarok combat is. You're kind of up in everybody's face. You know, it's going to be a little bit more visceral, a little bit more violent. It's not going to be as zippy, skippy, zoomed out, speedy, spidey. Like, it's not going to be like that. Not going to hold back on the violence? I don't think so. Oh, that was such a good one. I'm thinking for Wolverine, Last of Us style game, but action instead of stealth, gritty, realistic, linear. I could see them sort of blending The Last of Us and God of War. I could see that. I could. All right, you guys got 12 minutes before we go to members. If you want to grab a bunch of more people, you can grab 15 more. We can give 15 more. You can jump in, by the way. You don't have to wait for a gifted. It's only $5. You can hit the join button. Test out the $sign at the bottom of the chat. They've added gifted members as you can do that now on certain mobile devices. If you hit 100, I will owe you 20 members. Currently, I only owe you 15. We can bring those people with us to the members-only debrief, and we can, get a little bit behind-the-scenes discussion. I just got just excited for all of the showcases this summer. It's gonna be very, very full. Nothing will top the gore of Mortal Kombat 1. I don't even think I can show the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. I don't think I can. I really, really don't think I can show it. It'll get age. Anybody that shows that trailer is gonna get age restricted. It is so violent. I showed. The Dead Space remake trailer is age restricted because I showed a clip from it and everybody got really angry at me for saying that I said I didn't think it looked very good, and that people reported it, people mass reported it so it would get age restricted because they didn't want it to make me any money. I mean, joke's on them. It got like 90% of its views before they did that, but they were extremely mad. They brigaded against that thing hard. I could tell they were coming from like Reddit or something. Sony is scared of their demons, but I make friends with mine. Microsoft may have bent the truth, but they ain't never lied. What are you, like, freestyle poetry slamming about the two platforms? What the frick? Some of the weirdest I've ever read. PlayStation Showcase will have Lono with there as a special guest. No, I don't think so. That would be amazing, but no, I don't think so. Liza P at the showcase? Yeah, maybe. I think Sony's handling the marketing, haven't they? They've been pushing out the trailers. Didn't they push out a blog about it? Mortal Kombat's supposed to be very violent and gory. They should have never toned it down in the recent past. Hey, there it is, a brand new member. Somebody's jumping in and getting committed. Thank you so much, taking us to 86G2 the universe. Thanks for jumping in. Listen, I know that membership pushes feel weird on YouTube, and I don't care, because that's what we do here. I just did a 2.5-hour stream and never ran a single advertisement. Now, if you watch the past broadcast, there will be ads, but it's not live at that point, so it's not disrupting the show. We live off of members. If you watch every day and you listen every day, it's $5 for the entire month, and you get into all of our members-only shows. If you cannot afford a membership, make sure you're here. Make sure you're smashing the like button, and that'll increase your odds of getting a gifted member. Make sure you're talking in chat as well. I feel like I should be drinking a latte and snapping after hearing that. I like your content. You're a natural. Thank you. I appreciate that. E. Hernandez says, Lono, thanks for keeping it real for both PlayStation and Xbox. I appreciate it. Yeah, all the people that call me a Sony pony and hurl hate at me and personally attack me because they have their own, actual psychological issues. Listen, they're never going to clip the stuff where I say, don't compare, it's not a fair comparison. PlayStation fans trying to compare the showcase to the Xbox showcase, like, don't do it, it's not fair. They'll never clip that, right? It doesn't fit their narrative because they're liars. We're at 277 VIP members. We are at 277 VIP members. If you pour your coffee down your face, I'll sub. If you leave, I'll never have to read your dumb comments again. I think that's a better deal. I gotta say, both Microsoft and Activision Blizzard are American-run businesses. If the FTC and the CMA get this deal blocked, then the reality is the deal can't go forward no matter what other country says. Yeah. I'm kind of done talking about ABK until I have to. I don't like talking about it. Just everyone's so brain dead about it. I can't take it. The intentional misunderstanding, people rip clips out of context and just intentionally misunderstand because they're just liars, man. I can't take it. Just dealing with willfully ignorant, stupid people, liars, like whatever words you want to use. Man, do they fit the bill? It just isn't worth it. Nobody will get into the intellectual or economic analysis debate. They'll just freaking make stuff up and clip stuff out of context and obfuscate and spin, and it's like, okay, no respect for you, your content, and I just move on. I'm gonna cover it whenever I have to, and then I want to get back to games. I can't take it. It's just mudslinging trash garbage. So bad. Every ecosystem needs bottom feeders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm if you see me cover that more than once a month, you're going to be lucky. I just can't take it. It's freaking mind-numbing. Thank you. Cowboy with a renewal of the membership. I'm excited to be a member because Lono is almost as epic as me. Thank you, Cowboy. Check that game. Bumps us to 87. See, this is what I want to see. I want to see people jumping in with their own memberships all the way to 100. If we hit 100, I owe you 20 members. Helix was 16 months and it's a VIP. What's up, Lono? I've been waiting to tell you for a couple of days now. You need to start rocking the tank top more. Yeah, for those of you that missed the members only stream where I wore the tank top for the Just Dance stream. Tank top, short shorts, leg warmers, wristbands, headband. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm good. Not gonna lie, I thought you were another weird YouTuber, but your content's great, and I'm here every day now. Well, thank you, Lord Horg. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. ABK is low-hanging fruit, but it's rotten as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a big viewership grab, but the conversations aren't enjoyable. You know, the takes are dishonest. I just I don't like it. I'd rather talk games. I'd rather talk about the Xbox Showcase and Starfield and Diablo and Zelda and the PlayStation Showcase. Like, that's more enjoyable. The tank top was thumbs up. Thank you. And it needs to be said publicly because we said it privately in members only yesterday. I understand that because we give so many members, hate watchers end up with a membership. But if members only content ends up in reaction videos, we're going to have to put a stop to that because that's against TOS. So listen, you hate watch me all you want. You know, I fully support fair use. If you want to react to every single one of my publicly viewed videos, whether it's an upload or a live stream, that's fair game. I will never, ever fight against fair use. I will never fight against people reacting to my content. Even when you call me names and lambaste me, which is against community guidelines, but I don't care. I'm not going to be a hall monitor. But if you take members-only content and put it into your content, we're going to have a different conversation. So if you're a hate watcher and you're clipping stuff during members-only content and you're sending it to somebody, you better let them know. They can't use that, and that could get them into bad water, okay? Thank you so much, Gabriella, for gifting a membership. It goes to Drake and Pone, taking us to 88. 88. Bam. Do clips tell you who published them, like on Purple? No, I don't think so. They can just screen record, Eugene. I mean, you can use an iPhone and you can screen record. That's how I got all of my shorts that were highlights. It's just super easy. I screen record, I can crop it out. So it's really easy for somebody to get, you know, a gifted membership. They don't like me, they hate watch, they clip something in members, and then they send it to some YouTuber, right? If that YouTuber doesn't know that they're using members only content, okay, fine. You fool me once, shame on you. But if they continue to do it, especially after like it's been made known to them, like, hey, some of that's members only content, like that's against TOS. You're not allowed to do that. That doesn't fall under fair use. That's paid for content. So that's a breach of copyright. We are 12 away from 100. You guys have 3 minutes. 3 minutes until we go to the members only debrief. Right there at the buzzer of this stream, I will gift the members that I owe you. All right? I'll gift you the members. Right now, I owe you 15. Lono, what's your most anticipated game coming out for the PlayStation Showcase? By the way, love your content. People who call you a Sony pony, it just means they're ignorant and can't see how fair you can be. I appreciate that. They're never going to watch anyway. I don't care. They're not going to watch the show. Man, we're getting a bunch of trailers coming out. Like as soon as they announce the showcase. Member count? I can give you a member count. VIPs are at 277, right? VIPs are at 277. Just monetize your haters? No, I'm not going to do that. Listen, if people want to use clips from my publicly viewed videos, that's fair game. You want to react to my content? Man, knock yourself out. I don't care about that. But you can't use paid for content. That's not allowed. We are at 3,420. Ayo, 420. 3,420. You're a little over 500 short of the beard shave. Xbox is still the best box. Sony's always playing catch up in my house. Yeah, well, nobody's coming to your house. So we all have our own PlayStation 5s that we're just happy with. It'd be terrible to have to remove gifting members. I'm not going to remove gifting members. No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. YouTubers just need to abide by the rules. It's as simple as that. That's all you got to do. Just abide by the rules, and then you can do whatever you want with the content for the most part. If it turns libelous and nasty, then again, we have a right to respond to that both civilly and legally. But if you're just reacting to my content and calling me names, that's fine. That's your channel. That's your content. I don't care about that. You just can't use paid for content. You can't do that. You can't use members' content for that. Is your house in the 80s? Yeah. I'm torn between an Ally and a PSVR 2. I like the PSVR 2. I do wish it was PC compatible. I understand why they didn't make it PC compatible, but one of those things where I understand why they didn't make it PC compatible, but I think it would have given it like further reach. So, okay, that's it. I'm calling it. You guys over there watching on Kick, if you're a member, head over to YouTube. If you want to watch the members only content, come over and become a member. We're going to be debriefing on the PlayStation Showcase. I'm going to be gifting 15 members in the next couple of seconds. What are we eating today? It's like, I think my wife made pork enchiladas last night. What I said yesterday, and many echoed this, was that a few trolls are worth it for the real ones that can't get a membership for whatever reason. That's right. There's way more real ones. There's way more people that are like, hey, man, I love being here. So, last call. Last call for the final 12. I'm pulling up my own channel now to gift the 15 that I owe you. Shout out to Cowboy in the chat. Yeah, Cowboy's here. Okay. And then I'll get you a link. D, you should get a VIP. Oh, yeah, for the unfiltered streams. Oh, and let me get you the link. We're going to be heading to members. I'll give you a link. No Face Lord's trying to help. He's trying to get a buzzer beater in. He takes us to 89. He's putting us right on the doorstep. We need a single and a 10 spot to hit 100. Thank you so much, No Face. Super generous lately. Constantly gifting. Let me get a link here. There it is. And I believe I set up the redirect. Yes, I did. 89 over 25. Yeah. I know, Zubair. It's just confusing. Whenever we did that, it was confusing. All right, I got the link. Let me pull up the community page. Okay. Okay. And K. Okay. Come on, we need a haters dozen. Yeah, we need a haters dozen. All right, I'm going to piggyback off of, what is that? Darth Nihilus does it. He puts us right within 10. He puts us right within 10. The man himself. Oh, Ant takes us to 91. Come on. You guys are going to just keep extending it. There we go. We got another one. We got one. You're not going to let us go to members. We're grabbing you guys hostage, man. You can come to members only debrief. It's going to happen in a matter of minutes. Thank you, Darth Nihilus. Thank you, Ant. You hit off Anthony, Milliken, and WRB. Let's add another member to our Lono gang. That's right, Cowboy. That's right. We're now 9 away. Why is that up against the wall like that? I must have moved it. Hang on. Let me get it out of the... It's a little bit too in the corner. It's supposed to kind of hover. There we go. Yo, my man Cowboy. Thank you so much. Taking us to 92. Brett takes us to 93. Look at the community effort here. Ika Gang with a 7 spot. I don't know what that is. We don't get called a gang here. We're called Darth Nihilus slams it home. There it is. 103. Putting me up against the wall. Now I got to do a 20, and then we're going to go to members. You guys can all come with us. If you just got a gifted membership, you can come take a part of the end of the day debrief. What another crazy good day. Here comes my 20 bomb. Thank you, Darth Nihilus, for the generosity. You guys are crazy. You still have links to the story of Reforge Gaming? Oh, what? I just told that story in a member stream. I mean, you can go back and listen to it. That was yesterday's stream. Donkey Sausage hits 24 months, and it's a VIP plus. Welcome back, Donkey, for 2 years. That's a red badge. Here come all of the members from me. And then I'm going to spam a link in chat. Okay? I'm going to spam a link in chat so that you can go there automatically if you don't feel like writing the redirect, okay? I'm going to redirect you, but I'm also going to spam a link in chat, okay? Everybody right now, if you see your name in chat getting a membership, you can come with us to this members-only debrief. You can. A wealth of new games and new IP headed to PS5 and PSVR 2. That's a lot. All right, here we go. I really love this place. Well, we love having you, Bello. There's the link in chat. Hang on, let me refresh. Make sure that YouTube's getting the stream. It said an error occurred. Got time. Oh, here we go. Thanks so much for being a member. If you are seeing this debrief about the PlayStation Showcase stream that we did, you may be one of the new gifted members. We hit 103 members, and then I gifted 20. That's 123 new members. Make sure you set on notifications. Make sure you hang out in our Discord. It's a members-only Discord. It's linked below in the description. Friday nights, I play games with my wife. We do a debrief every single day. The end of the week on Friday, though, is a VIP debrief. It's just for VIP members, and it's unfiltered, and my producer joins me. It gives you a behind-the-scenes look. You can upgrade at any time for $5 more. Even if you got gifted, it's just $5 to upgrade to VIP. Then you'll be out of the gifted pool, and you can be a part of those VIP debriefs. We're at 277, inching our way to 300 VIPs. We're at 3,400 members. If you want to get that beard shaved, you guys are going to have to come big with the gifted members. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring everybody over with the redirect from that PlayStation Showcase stream. What a great stream that was. What a huge turnout.